Broadcasting to all of the millions of fans.
Just making sure so that I can like it so I can go back and watch again later.
Yeah, sure thing.
Because I'm well aware that I have a few memory problems, so better to have reminders.
Yeah. Okay, and then we post it here.
So it's me and Giove tonight?
Yep. Okay, I've posted the links there, and I just need to go and make one quick retweet, and then we're ready to get started.
Nice.
So we're doing just VOD review, or are we playing some games in Anarchy Open as well?
This stream is always a good 45 minutes or so of Anarchy Open with the VOD reviewees first.
Okay.
You're welcome to join in that if you want. If you're not interested, then no need.
No, I'm fully up for it. It's just I'm kind of nervous. I've been anxious for this stream all day, actually.
No worries, no worries. It'll be fine.
I'm not
Okay, so hello, Devi, and Jamie, and Wee Weirdo, Moose, yes, don't trust her, and Stormcoder, and Smidge, and Specs, and Joltimon, and Pat Gaming, and Bear, and Small Fry, and Grace, and Continually Confused, and Gamebro, and Anime Hero. Jamie, Devi, you did not see the go live notification, is what I am learning here. All right. So I'm going to DM both of you who are in the chat here my friend code and a password. And then you guys can add me, and then we'll get all set up.
okay.
So there it is for Dury Gathan. Is that how that's pronounced?
Yep.
All right.
You got it first time as well. Not a lot of people do.
Question is, am I going to get it the second time?
Well, most people call me either Dury or Gathan on Knack server, or heck, if it's Vicfion, she just calls me Dur.
Dur. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent the friend request.
All right, I've got it from you. And do you just go by GOV or Geo or?
You can call me both ways. Like,
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So there's GOV.
I sent mine.
Is Big Man? He's like gonna give you a hug or something.
Yeah. He protects me every day.
Oh, I needed to delete a friend to make space. 1 second.
All the big YouTubers have to do that these days.
It's only 300. You run out if you're a tournament organizer, if you're a streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different reasons that it might fill up like that. Okay. And after it accepts, there we go. That's what I'm going to talk about. Okay.
Just hitting refresh to the beat of the song. I miss Squid beats.
Room is going up right now. All right, and Devi, I'm assuming you would like to join us. I will send you the password.
Interesting. I don't see you as online.
Did you leave the lobby and come back in the time since you got the friend request accepted? You usually need to do that.
No.
And you can just refresh
Strange.
the
Because it's
friend
not the
list.
same way in Salmon Run, which is what I play the most out of this game.
Hello, Mr. Gem. I come bearing a question. Would a YouTube series going over the competitive history of a weapon over all the games be something that could be viable? Cheers. Thank you. Thank you so much for the donation.
Yeah, still no. I might need to restart my game.
You might have that glitch where if you go into the shoal, go into land mode, come back out, come back, then you might see it.
No, I see him on my friends list now, like after I close the game.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a thing that S3 does. It happened to me actually during a tournament where everything was fine. We did set 1 just fine, but the second set I just could not find the other captain and friends. Like I had 2 of them added, and I'm like, what happened? And they're like, just go into the shoal, and then come back. It'll reset it, and I'm like, ah.
Thank goodness for skipping the news.
It was
All right.
pain. I'm like, I swear.
There we
like,
go.
I have stream view and everything. I'm not stalling this game. I literally cannot see. I opened and closed and everything.
Alright. I hope you're ready for some double backline, Devi, because it's gonna be double backline.
I mean that, or I can just switch to the other one of the other splat links I'm working on. I already forgot.
Funnily
what the
enough,
second
I'm a
map was.
backline main overall, so I play Hydra.
Heck
but-
yeah.
But E-Leader is what I chose to focus on for this VOD review.
Hey, Devi, you want to stay on for that VOD review?
Okay, sure.
That'll be
You
good.
you have my full attention. I could roll out with Mini or just stick with Not here. One of the two.
Oh, man. I miss Knott's kit from Splatoon 2. Specifically Knot 79s. Because that was my main in that game.
Do you want the Mini for more paint or not with rain? My build is actually built for rains.
As you knows.
Go with that.
You're not playing Zimmy at all?
The funny, well, here, okay. I have this strange thing where I'm better at the other variant of weapons that are not the better variant.
That is strange. So, like, was it custom Hydra you played into, or the vanilla Hydra?
I did both, and I started playing more vanilla than I was custom towards the end of it.
Oh, man. I avoided Hydra in 2.
I mean, I can see why, because, like, it was... As soon as the Hydra got all in place, the team would just come back at you with triple missile. I had this happen at Riptide. But I succeeded! I just went splashdown Hydra, and ta-da! I flanked.
I see 2 LDE.
One dropped out right.
Yeah,
They're
I
pushing really
marked
hard.
their leader.
Bluga's on right. Pushing Bluga's in. There's a special getting thrown at us. Watch left side. I got left. On right, on right.
I didn't.
Right zone.
Yeah, right side one.
Nice.
Yep, they're, up ledge.
Charger got me. Peeked around the corner
There's
too,
one behind
obviously.
the left. Even Booyah. You guys left.
Oh, that got me! Oof.
I have Wavebreaker.
I got my fingernails clipped.
Oh, H3 got me in mid. The right side zone. On our plat.
Oh! I don't know how I missed that.
Whoa!
What We're one down, be careful.
Unless
E-leader's after me.
they're going
Going to
to
the side.
I
tactical.
like the side route.
Nope, they know I'm there.
Several on plat. Watching me trying to fall off.
I got
Okay.
one.
Wailing going in on this H3.
Wave breaker out.
There's
Maybe.
H3 got away, but
Oh,
there's
there's a
one
jump
jumping.
here. It's a
Dude,
Gluga.
they're keeping a
I'm gonna
close
run
eye
down
on me. They're keeping a very close
On
eye on
right,
me. I
too.
can't provide
Yeah.
any space.
It's alright.
Look at me. They're all right.
You're just being a threatening laser, right? Oh,
Pretty much. That's the idea.
exactly.
Luga's down. I'm down to mid. Yeah, we're out of time there.
Yeah. Ah! They got me.
Pardon me. I will need just a minute. I will be right back.
Hitting stop or continue?
Hit stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, with it being what it is, I can actually double backline this.
Yeah, probably. Like,
Did you have double backline in your VOD by chance?
No. I actually had like an overwhelmingly powerful team against me. Like in Splat Zone's Sturgeon.
Okay, okay.
Like my team could barely like really struggled to do anything, which was annoying. They had a Hydra. I hope you're proud of them.
The interesting part is that I'll see a lot of, like, when I'm watching the VOD reviews here, is that when a lot of players, the other side will have a Hydra that the players are going against, and that's usually tends to be the biggest threat. And I'm like, okay, let's see if it's doing its job.
Yeah.
I should probably play,
I had 5 potential VODs I could have sent in that I recorded using my OBS battle my replay thing. I forget what it's called. And 3 of them had potential to me, but the one I chose because it was because of what it was.
okay.
The other 2 were weird comp VODs. One was a double backline, double support, in which the supports were Splattershot Nova and Big Swig, and we somehow won.
Oh. Okay, yeah. You said it was that was still zones? Was it still zones or was it a different
It was
mode?
still zones.
Okay.
Lobby's back up.
That
It
I can
was-
see working.
Yeah, it was zones on Hammerhead.
Yep, that'll work. Yeah.
The other was Zones Inkblot, but it was me and 3 support players. 2 of them were juniors.
Sorry for the delay there, but all is well.
All good. Nope. I'm gonna run my more aggressive build. So I'm not gonna be playing traditionally. So you can take all the traditional spots. I'm
Okay.
gonna run around and play more midline.
I'm not exactly using my traditional ability build either. Like
Oh,
I have
that's fine.
Object Shredder on my E-leader because I was trying it out, but I normally have main saver on it, like on my boots instead.
Yeah, I'm running my I like to call it my Hydra Crimes build because this is what I use because I'm usually the front line in it.
Yeah.
So I can still get decent number of booyah bombs. I can play aggressive. I can just.
I was
kinda
actually
hold
really
out.
pleased to have a build on a set of drip that I really like.
Don't forget about Cat, Jerry.
I never forget about Cat. What are you talking about? This is not a
What a
thing that
story.
ever happens. on
Another
my stream.
E-leader and a Gelt Squelcher. Great.
Don't worry.
Simple.
I will poke from the side.
Hold up. One of them has a main of
Yep.
QSR.
On left, on left, on left.
Yeah, I'm here.
I got one.
Good trade.
There's-
Still
there's
one right.
another one around
Jet and leaders watching right. Help Giovi.
I got sniped. It clipped my fingernails again.
I'm gonna use it on
brother.
leader.
They're jumping in from flat.
Several on right.
Wave breaker out.
Okay, I moved push 2 to the right.
Wailing.
I'm getting
going in on right.
Got me?
Leaders top left jumping down.
Tri-strike
They
lead.
jump.
Got him.
Oh, that's a bomb on my head. Left corner.
Shoving leader. Leader down.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, there we
You-
go.
You can
Planting
take mid.
mines.
Mini dropped. Get him. You're down. I'm down. Nice. There's
Got
another
him.
one.
There's leader.
Watch out for right. I haven't seen them drop out, but they have the paint to do it.
No, there's got to be one over there. I got one.
Approaching.
Two, got
Nice. Just T-Tech. Where's T-Tech?
right, I think.
Yeah, they're right. But coming on our plat. They just threw their whole tri-strike at our wall.
He's weak.
2 on right.
That's right.
Being dropped.
You can
One
push them
jumped.
left.
Coming out. Right.
Oh!
He's behind you.
Traded mini.
Next side.
Jet and someone else on right zone.
Yeah, if you can
We're
just
not
keep
gonna be
putting
able to hold.
shots
We're not
over
gonna be
there.
able to
Yeah,
hold.
just keep...
Oops.
T-Tech right.
They're on a
Bottom.
plat.
There's me.
One on top.
Being right.
Jim, the leader is
Yeah,
gonna
they're
be bouncing
keeping
around.
the other side. Oh,
They
that
have a
was...
back out as well.
Breaker out. Watch out for the
Being
stand.
Hammer?
flanking.
I'm down to
I got
hammer.
the stand.
Good job.
I'm gonna booyah the back right.
Leader on top.
One on
Oh,
top.
T-Tech. Bridget right.
Leader's
There's
back,
T-Tech,
back
there's
left.
Jump right.
Oh, there's one on... Jet and Mini in the middle. If we can
Flanking
push
mini,
them
got
left.
mini. I'm down to leader.
Shoot, okay.
Gets
Got you.
closer, trying to get me.
Nice.
Leader
That's
drop.
one down. Let's start pushing in.
Oh, shoot.
There's leader left.
Leader
Leader's
is
on the
ground level left.
bottom left.
Wave breaker out.
Good.
I'm out
Oh,
of
there's
ink.
one on me
I'm
on
gonna go down.
the
One
right.
left. Me got me left.
Oh boy.
He's camping.
Oh, the Jet's on the right.
Just you, Dury.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm trying to stay alive. They're trying to get me.
I've changed.
Jet coming up on right. Got him.
Nice. I'm gonna distract.
Several watching me right.
What?
I should have
Nice.
dropped this. My bad.
Leader down.
Mini on right.
Let's-
Mini right tree.
Help paint zone. Let's get the zone cap.
Right. Me got me right. It's with Bridget. Now it's the
I
left.
traded with Mini.
Get after
One more
me.
right. Going left.
Oh,
Got
I don't know
it.
what
Jet
hit
on
me.
left. I think I've got him. Oh, I missed too many shots. Okay, regroup. Got one more chance to make this.
Let's
Don't
suggest
go in.
one
Don't go in
right.
before they're coming up on right.
Yeah. Using back. And left.
One.
well-
I am down by bomb and leader.
I have the leader's attention.
I couldn't get anything done there.
Oh. Oh, the leader got me.
Bridget left.
Biggest thing there was we were just staggering. So actually a couple things. Number one, when we're backed up onto our plat, we have to expect that they're going to be on the right. There were a lot of flanks that were coming up the ramp that we weren't seeing, and that's literally the only way that they have to get at us from there. So that's like the first thing we should be watching to keep ourselves safe. The other thing was just make sure that we're not getting in engagements when we're down, because that's going to keep us down in those engagements.
There was also a couple other times where we had advantage and we didn't cap zone before we went for a pick on the wing. That's another thing we can do because we had enough people to paint the zone and then go for the pick, but we went for the pick instead. But they ended up winning the fight on the one, and then the others collapsed.
It is a Gemothy live stream. Welcome. And hello, Animal. And hi, Kitty. Okay.
Explo.
was Rusher.
They don't have a ton of paints, especially if we take
Explo's
out the
Ninja
machine or the
Squid for
Explo.
some reason.
They have double ninja.
Roller in front of us. Watch top mid. Thank you.
Bottom.
I'm marked.
I'm like 2.
Tetris are 1. There we go.
Explo focusing me. They're weak.
Roller's trying to come out.
Flanking their plat.
Yeah, okay.
Got one. Dooley's on me. Traded.
Explo might get me.
Hot Explo.
Nice.
Nice shot. That saved me. Roller on right zone going left.
Is it?
They got a
Break
bubble
it
out.
down.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Focus right side. There's one there. Tetris got me on right.
Oh,
Nice. We still don't have zone.
Sloshing machine got me.
You paint zone, I'll keep him back.
Okay.
Oh.
Roller right, roller right.
Yeah, I gotta jump now. Oh, they steamrolled me.
Nice. Yeah,
pick.
they got me too.
Okay, I'm
Oh.
backing off.
I'm gonna try for special.
Oh, shoot, they know I'm here.
Yeah, that is the #1 place they'll put because it's a backline spot.
I have my special.
Oh, one on plat here.
There's one on
They're
top.
weak.
Diving them. Got him.
Nice.
Explo top mid.
Okay.
Roller
Oh,
and someone else
roller.
here. What in
Nice.
the world? How'd they miss? Roller still bottom right. Sharking.
Okay. I'm gonna put this on zone though.
We have numbers. Make sure to get zone. There we go.
Yeah, roller's still there. My chicken didn't go after it for some reason.
Is it? Nice, get me.
Oh boy. Chicken after me.
From left.
You're alright.
One wave breaker.
I went in too hard on right. Thought we were going. Stay safe.
We
I
have
might be able to
chicken
get back in and help. Alright, alright. Help Debbie.
Down. Machine.
Tetra's on right. I'm down. Okay. Get out of there. Yeah. Watch out for right.
Oh,
Reef slider is down.
Nice.
Roller right,
Roller?
roller right.
Oh, no.
Roller.
I'm always surprised by the sloshing machine's range.
Alright, we've got one more chance to make this push. I'm close to special. We're gonna need to go as soon as I get it. Alright, there it is. Go,
I
go,
got
go.
the machine's attention.
Pushing for zone.
I got machine.
Roller got me on left.
Traded roller.
Oh no.
Nice.
Get zone, get zone, get zone. It's just the Explo. Just the Explo. Paint through it. Nice.
Nice.
2, 1.
Yes.
One on the right side of their plot.
One wave breaker.
There's rain on right side of zone. Be careful.
Machine booyah. Roller got me. I traded. Nice. They're 2 down. Keep up the pressure.
Oh, behind you, Geo.
Oh, roller left.
Got him.
Wailing onto plat. See if you can get up.
The machine on the left. Got
Got the
him.
machine.
Expo's on their plat right.
On right, right, right.
Get that
Tetris.
Got extra.
Tetris down. Keeping zone. Good job, good job.
Nice.
Way to come back from that.
Here, I will switch though. I'll give us a bit more paint support. So just hit stop and I'll switch to something.
I've been spoiled in Anarchy series. There were so many occasions where I got a collateral in the opening of the match, and it's like, come on, man, you're making it too easy for me.
Yeah, there's always a stealthier squid. So we're hitting stop, right? For
Yeah,
weapon?
I'll pick a
Oh,
a
shoot.
more painting thing.
I hit stick with team. Oops.
Just hit sleep mode. Hit sleep mode on your Switch. Tap the power button.
Wait, if you're good
Closing
stuff, you can
software.
grab. I can
No,
just-
you don't need to do that. You just need to go to sleep mode. At this point, you're locked into it, but it's faster to just toggle sleep mode on and off, and then go back into the lobby.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, getting the cats back up and the lobby back open.
Oops. Wrong password. There we go.
All right.
Yes, the shooter with a backline button.
Exactly! That's the only way I can play this weapon. I struggle with it otherwise because I forget about the sub.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I don't forget about the subs that people consider useless, but yet I forget about burst bombs. Don't
This-
forget about cat.
The sub of that is what turns it into a midline weapon.
I know, it's confusing.
You're a rapid blaster when you use your sub weapon. You're a frontliner when you
telling
use your
you.
main weapon, you're a midliner when you use your sub, and then you're a backliner when you use your special.
Double backline.
They're going to be
Cool.
really passive and just throw
Three
a
of
lot of
them have
things
main
at
power,
us.
or
Be very
main
careful what
saber.
angles you peek.
They might be pseudo triple
They
back.
go on right. On 3.
Oh boy, Explo is targeting backside of zone.
Uh,
and it's scary.
E-leader is on a weird angle. They're on the right.
E-leader is under pressure. I'm being hit by the Explo. I'm down.
Up.
Oh no! Ah!
Leader is focusing me.
Bloody got me on right.
I'm gonna. I can't help Devi. Be careful there.
I know, I'm just kinda...
I can wail to
Playing a
see if you can get in
distraction
from there.
I have a crab now.
All right, wailing.
Throwing out my wave breaker. The
Got
Expo's
one
trying to
side.
get
I'm
me.
down to wave breaker.
It's on the left.
Leader on right still. Nice.
Okay,
That's 3 down. Get zone. Get zone. It's just Blob.
Look, on the right, on the right.
Blob could potentially outpaint us. We might need to go for them.
I got the jump.
There's exposure.
Got him.
All right. Blob was on left. Yeah, Blob's
Is
still
it?
left. Blob down.
Yes.
Oh.
Pressuring Explo and leader. And by pressuring, I mean hard flanking. Explo is there, and there's a jump to plat on my ouch.
Oh no!
Geo is in,
Aim!
Devi's in low.
Ah! I got it. Expo got me. I got the other one though. I got the one non-backline.
Blob is down.
Not
I got a
Nice.
jump coming in a tree.
Junior and leader on me. I don't know how any of those.
Where are
compare.
you? Oh, you're up there.
Without our plans. It's using the breaker.
They got double wave breaker out.
Eeeeee.
I'm gonna have to back off.
Yeah.
One of the wave breakers is shredded. Blob coming out left. Blob down. I'm down to Explo. 2 on left wall. 3 on left wall.
Uh,
I'm gonna need help.
One left.
Thank you.
Oh,
Explo weak. Got him. Nice.
Got 2.
That's 3 down. Just Blob. Just Blob on their plat.
I hit him once.
I got him.
Oh, I missed my jump. Whoops.
Got that one.
Good job.
oh,
Wailing the Explo. See if we can get him.
oh, that's the leader.
I'm so bad at aiming. Ah!
Got me.
Come
You
here.
got it. You got it. Blob
Oh,
on
Blob
top
got me
left.
from behind. Blob top left. Yep.
Blob weak. Got him. Explo down.
There we go.
Thank you, car alarm.
Our alarm.
Yeah, there's a car
Very
alarm
good
going
fight.
off. I'm glad that you can't hear it.
Right.
Oh.
Just right, keep chunking.
Got the blob.
Nice. I saw them just evaporate in front of my existence.
Oh, they apparently do hear the car alarm.
They probably hear it through yours, but it's yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
I can
The reticle is just sabotaging me. Yes, we'll just okay. Yep, that's the case.
Yes, Devi's perfectly accurate weapon is the problem.
Did my job though.
No, yeah, you did.
Painted, went
You,
in the
you did my
positives and got
job,
flip
honestly.
revs. Yeah, what the heck, Jerry? Funny part about this is I was watching a stream before this, and they had the smoke alarm kept beeping on and off. And now there's a car alarm on yours.
Not anymore. It got fixed.
Well, still.
It either got fixed or it got stolen. And either way, we're fine with that.
Look, Jamie, it should be I who honks because I am the Canadian goose.
I am the one who honks.
Honk.
A fellow Canadian.
Heck yeah. Eh?
Hey. What's this all about?
No, on right.
Oh!
He's weak. On
Oh.
left and
Wow!
not right.
I gotta wait a second. Oh, I didn't see the bomb behind me. Rip. There's two on their plat, one on zone right.
Got one on plat.
Oh,
They
Not is
dropped.
on the right. They're moving
Traded
up.
another one mid.
I see.
They're invading plat.
Not anymore.
Unintentional pun. Wave breaker out.
Not anymore.
I meant mine.
Well,
Got
they had
one.
one out too.
One dropped right, I think. Oh no, they're.
Oh, shoot.
on
Yeah,
right.
one is Inkzuka-ing on the right.
Not got me on right.
Bomb got me.
Get out of there if you can, Debbie.
I'm just gonna kite.
Not on right. Watch out for them to peek.
I burst bombed him. I burst bombed him twice, and I got double bombed.
On the wall. Not on our ramp.
He's weak. Got him, but not.
3v3.
Gonna wait a second.
One
Yeah.
on our wall. Help Geo. Help Geo. Nice.
Nothing.
I got their
Good.
painter.
Top mid. Top mid. There's jump. Got one on right. Another one on me. In the corner. Got him. Thank you. On zone.
Top left.
What are you
Zuka.
doing?
They're zuking right.
Junior has
right,
the
Junior.
Got him.
Nice.
Not on right tree as well.
The dually squelchers above me here.
Dualies have wave breaker.
Okay.
Not pushing me right.
Oh, I got
Oh.
double bombed again. I keep getting stuck in between a splat bomb and a suction bomb. They're doing that really well.
Try to keep
Oh.
zone for lead.
I got one.
All right, there we
Nice.
go. Going in.
Breaker out.
I messed up. 3 on right. 3 right zone.
Can't
Right.
help you.
Wobbler on left.
Got
Oh.
one.
Got the other.
I'll push in on left side.
Getting poked.
Got a third.
Nice, that's wide.
Nice.
Okay, time to go have a little fun.
Placing mines.
Watch out for them to drop right since we're covering
They're dropping
plat
right.
so hard.
Oh my gosh, they
Yeah.
got that. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Two on
Got
right.
one on right.
Right
Oh.
flat?
I got sniped.
But now,
That's nice.
One on left zone.
Yeah, Nautilus. That Nautilus is very good aim. Be
Yes,
careful.
they are. Don't worry. They got rid of a solid crab of mine.
Got 2.
Painting zone.
Mines in zone.
Oh!
got him.
Did not see that coming. They got one dropping right.
One's on the right. Okay,
Nice.
I had
Yeah,
crab
bro.
in the way. I said you shall not pass with a crab.
All of chat is being like, oh, yeah, it was Jem's car that was stolen. I'm gonna go out and look out the window and confirm that it wasn't my car that was stolen. So I'll be right back.
Yep. Can I just say I love how the three of us have the same emote on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, it was probably the car next to me. Whatever. No, I have no information to suggest that any cars were actually stolen. It was Jamie's car that was stolen. Oh no!
Man, you could hear that all the way from where Jamie lives.
From Jamie Land.
All the way down. So.
I've actually had a few moments where I was able to snipe the crab tank driver. Like,
There's actually a point where I got onto the clam foot, mushroom, whatever you want to call it, and I crabbed from there onto their attic to the knot, but they managed to actually get a charge, jump over top, so the fall-off shots of the knot actually hit my back. So the knot hits the Achilles heel of the crab, head on. And I was like, that's so good. Hey, I know this person on the other team.
Thanks, Terratros.
triple LDE.
Terratros? I don't know.
The other has Subsaver.
I'll go right.
With
One
you,
on
by the way.
zone.
Got one.
Got one
I'm
on
out of
zone.
ink. One's
Blob
on
is
the
their
right
plat.
carousel. Right,
Okay.
right,
Nice,
right
Blob's
zone.
down.
Dualies.
There's somebody coming in.
Pushing them.
This Dualies is chasing me.
Yep.
I hit them once, they dropped.
Beacon to your
Oh,
right.
I did do
Geo.
a fizzy.
I don't know where those dualies ended up.
There's someone coming out left.
There's one left. Got me. Got me. Is this Zimbuya?
I'm behind them on plat.
Oh no.
Got
Oh,
blob.
shoot.
Got beacon.
I couldn't see
Well,
Machine.
there's three in front of me,
Machine's
so
got
we'll
blue,
see what I
watch
can
out.
do.
I think they see you in the beacon, Gem. There's a beacon to your left.
There's Zimbuya.
It takes more than 2 shots of a 52 to kill a beacon? I didn't know that.
Well, Machine's hurt, but not much.
Hey, Debbie's crabbing. Let's get in with this.
They're 1 week on the right.
Got him.
Nice.
I'm a little crabby, you know?
Got another.
They
Go on,
stole the
wait,
Blob
zone.
got me. Blob last. Rush blob.
I poked it. I poked
They've
it
got
again,
beacons
but it
around them.
got
There's
me.
snappers. There's snappers. Snappers drop right.
Okay, they've got 2 beacons on that side.
Good
One on
snappers.
right. Nice.
Oh, and you,
Oh,
watch
wait.
over the 2 buckets.
Rushing left. Using Zimbuya.
They're double booyahing.
Well, they won't get lead for it.
Okay, I'm down. They're rushing. Bucket's hiding on the wall, gonna go in with Pro, and Blob's following it up.
This one.
Nice. That's
Got
2.
one.
They have a beacon on their top left. And 2 on the right still.
Let's get back onto zone. Dualies on zone. They're weak. Underneath now.
Got Blob. Got Beacon.
2 on the left.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Dualies just
What
jumped.
happened?
Got
They jumped back to
Sparks,
mid,
right?
or back to spawn.
Okay.
There's
There's
beacon
one-
behind
there's-
right snipe and
there's
up on top
beacon
left.
is
Watch out for both of
left.
those. One
They have
coming from
Tacticaler.
left. Machine on
Watch out
left.
for
Booyah.
Booyah.
Booyah left.
Got snappers.
Oh, I'm down to blob.
Oh no.
Left.
2 on their ledge. They've
got
got
one.
Tacticooler.
Uh-oh. Machine got me.
Okay. Stay alive. Stay alive.
Backing off.
Yeah.
I have
Couple
no
players weak
super.
near zone.
I'm gonna wait for...
I got one.
Nice pick. Wailing. Let's go
Machine's
in.
down.
Got another. I don't know where
it's-
Blob went.
One their ledge.
Blob went right.
Get
There's
the
a beacon
beacons.
over
Get
there.
the beacons.
Got one.
There's one their ledge. Nice.
Oh gosh. Still their ledge. Still their ledge. Still their ledge.
Got
Booyah
snappers.
incoming. Trying to paint
Oh.
through.
Got machine trade.
Oh shoot, I'm in the rain.
Got one.
Fine.
Blob weak. Got them.
Nice. There's a beacon on the right.
Right. In the.
Got
Nice.
Got the beacon.
Blind wave breaker. Watch out for Booyah.
Got blob.
Nice.
That should be game.
Got that first trade. Nice.
Oh, I wanted. I was like, let me shred.
Always nice to get that lucky pick.
Nice.
One of these things is not like the other.
Why is gem fading from existence? Oh, the shirt I'm wearing is green, which is probably not the best idea. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit more towards me and see if that helps at all. Okay, yeah, the more I'm illuminated, the more it should recognize that this is a different green from the green of the green screen, so
For the
hopefully,
most part.
hopefully I don't go full Thanos. Alright.
I use the stones to destroy the stones. I use the gems to destroy the gems.
Create a loop where it's like me in a mirror and the camera looking at the mirror. And it just bounces back and forth infinitely. And we'll call it the Infinity Gem.
Same team again.
For the
looks
most
like-
part, but they don't have the blob anymore.
Code LD.
Yeah.
Where's the leader? They're on
Top
left wall.
left.
Explo is on right. I'm gonna flank the Explo. Oh crap, there's two here.
Watch out.
I'm gonna need help.
Got one, I'm down. Explo's weak in the corner.
Got apples.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice, Geo.
Beacon's on the
Nice.
plat.
Got him.
They jumped to one, I think.
I'm gonna stay with and use Luca.
One coming out right.
Oh, one on left, one right.
Got the apples.
I'm marked.
One.
Got another.
One
Rain and
DC.
Wavebreaker on zone.
One DC.
Oh, they have a
Oh,
disconnect.
that was a pro.
They have a
Whoopsies.
DC.
Okay, well, away we go! Unintentional rhymes.
Imagine not having decent internet. Shameful.
Even with
How-
decent internet, it's still gonna happen sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's the nature of this
These
game.
servers. Disconnects part of Splatoon's nature.
Yeah. You mentioned
Well, enough-
servers. Splatoon doesn't actually use those for multiplayer.
Yeah, it's entirely peer-to-peer after you get into the match. So,
So it
so
always
your
says
con-
you have
so the
trouble
connection is
disconnecting.
more reliant on your own connection rather than the server.
But anyone's can mess it up.
Rolling Squids is that team name, right? Right?
Holy squids.
There's so many RS teams.
I do recognize Toasty in particular.
Splatana, come, QR build.
Yeah, they have
Uh-oh,
no
I'm
anchors,
annoying.
so we can play a little more aggressively.
That's Linza.
Nice. Two
Linza
down, get
had-
zone.
Yeah, there's physical mails,
One more,
there's
left,
a jump.
left. Focus left.
There's a jump. There's two on left.
Oh, there is two. I almost have crab. Give
There.
me a second here.
Walling it off. One drop behind us, behind us. Got
Got
him.
him.
Help me.
Crap. I have to back.
Ah!
Things that you
I'm
get-
marked.
They're aggressively trying to flank the crab. Like, everyone's flanking it as soon as they see where it
Oh,
is.
I missed the last shot.
Yeah, except the Flingza, they missiled me.
One.
Flings got me right. Or left, sorry.
Okay, I'm
Flings
back
to left.
off then.
Marked. Nice.
Oh,
Mike got him.
I got a mine kill.
Let's go.
Mine?
I'm gonna
Mine?
run
Mine?
speed.
Mine?
Run speed.
Yeah, that's the Hydra version.
I'm literally on the left flank. Whenever I'm literally 2 seconds to crab.
I've got their attention on right.
Okay.
Wailing.
Let's do.
Got one. I'm down.
Yes.
Just Junior. Just Junior.
Where'd it go?
It's
Oh,
on right
Yes,
zone.
jump.
Top mid, maybe? No, it's on right.
Got
Nice.
Flingza.
There is one.
Still one right zone. Still one right zone.
One, two right zone.
One on top.
One jumped
Coming
out.
in
Got one.
from flat.
One dropped right. I'm weak. Got him. Just the sword, and they're coming back in.
got it. Nope, I went too far. No.
They're going right. They're going right.
Oh, I just stood on
Actually,
a bomb
no,
forever.
they're not. No, they're not.
Yes.
They
yes.
are
Several flat,
no.
several flat.
Flings is.
Back up. We're 2 down.
Flingza.
Good pick.
Nice.
That'll get us back in
Oh,
faster.
I died to the
Faster.
junior. There's 2 there.
Oh, we might be able to hold zone.
I think you can. It's just junior on the
Okay,
right.
that-
There you go. There
One
you
wave.
got that painter.
I'm in behind them.
Got stun her.
I'm in.
Oh, there's 2 on me. Traded.
I got
Good
the
wipe. Good
sword.
wipe. We should be able to keep zone.
Away!
Just keep zone the whole time.
I shall distract. Oh. I need to learn how to do schmoves here. Okay, that works too. Okay.
One coming from right. They're gone.
I just see the Zuka come in beside me. Okay, thanks, Gio. Okay.
Always feels good when you get a mine kill.
It does, doesn't it?
I actually got a triple kill while dead once, thanks to my ink mines and
Yep.
Wavebreaker.
Yep. I literally, the first game I ever played with Heavy, I got a triple with Ravebreaker in a tournament. To defend Rainmaker, and I was the only one left alive. Alive? Yep. Alive.
Nice.
A wive.
Try doing
Hawaii.
try doing that while dead though, because that's how I
I
got
was!
mine.
I was dead! That's the best part! I have it clipped on my Twitch
All right,
stream.
let's hit stop. It's about time for us to get into the VOD reviews here.
Yeah,
Mode.
I actually have the clip on my YouTube.
Oh, there we
so,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, what? Literally my first S3 tournament, and I get a triple with a Wavebreaker while I'm dead.
I've
right.
only ever gotten one quad with the E leader.
I think my
was-
biggest achievement, though, was triple mines on Humpback, or like a triple, 1 for 3 mine on Humpback zones in S2.
Okay.
That's my glory.
All right.
Okay,
it's
I
time for the VOD
have
review.
I have the link for Dury, so I'll start with that one. In the meantime, Geo, just make sure to send me the either the link that you want me to use to watch the video or the replay code.
And,
Just,
I
DM me
just
that.
realized there's something I should have done earlier that I really need to take care of now, so I don't get interrupted.
Okay. So you need to step away for a sec? I'll take that as a yes. Geo, get me the replay code or whatever it is, and we'll be able to start with yours then.
There we go.
Yeah, I
A
sent it.
simple "Do not disturb" door sign.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I sent it in the
All right, so we've got a link for one and a replay code for the other. So we'll start with Dury here, but I'll make sure to get that code in so that we're ready to go as soon as we switch over. All right, so here's my lovely blank screen. Just kidding. It's Dury's VOD. Whoa. Wild.
I'll BRB
The-
myself.
The magic of production.
Yeah.
And this is Dury's, so Devi, this is one where it would be good to have your input too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab more water. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. And I'm just getting a couple of things up so that they will show on stream. Cool. All right. So Dury, do you have like, is this a solo match or is this a
It's series.
series? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's get into it then. Let me double check and make sure that It's probably not going to show up, actually. Can you see my mouse? Actually, no, you can't because I'm not sharing my screen yet.
Yeah, I was
Now
gonna
you
say,
should be able to see my mouse.
Okay.
Yep, all right.
There we
And
go.
then stream should also be able to see the mouse. No, they cannot. That's unfortunate. I don't think I can fix that, though. All right. Well, we're almost there. All right. Is there a way to make me disintegrate less?
What the?
Probably not.
I kid you not. Like, that player, I have seen that player so many times in my series, and I don't know why.
There. It's totally fixed. That's the solution to this problem. All right. It will be what it will be. I will be Sparkly Gem. Okay. Let's get started. So we've got a bunch of frontliners on our team, which is great. Arrow Spray is going to be able to provide Booyah Bomb support, and that's about all they're going to do. That's not true. They'll paint the zone once the zone is safe. But you have an important job here, which is bullying all of the long-ranged weapons off of your frontliners. Your frontliners probably do not win against the Splattershot Pro. They probably do not win against the Jet, and they do not win against the Hydra unless they are able to close the distance somehow. You are the only weapon that can contest those weapons at their range. So anytime you can get a shot on one of those that will keep them away from your frontliners, always useful.
Okay.
Let me double check and make sure that the quality is as high as it's going to go. Yeah, okay, cool. Sometimes it just kicks you into the game and it's 160p for some reason. It's like, thanks, I didn't want to see any of the pixels. Unfortunately, we have a teammate who went in faster than everybody else, and we weren't there in time to help them. They just died on zone. So from here, we're going to need to be careful. This is really, really dangerous once we're up here. A lot of weapons, and you can't see what I just put on screen. A lot of weapons on this left-hand side are able to get shots over onto snipe. Anything longer ranged than like a splatter shot, you kind of have to worry about doing that. So being up here after a teammate has gone down, like, you're pretty much the furthest player forward. You probably don't want to be up in a visible place right now. So Booyah goes out. They're trying to make it happen anyway, which is not great because that means they're going to stagger. You're really hoping that this player over here on the left does not go in right now because it's 2v4 and they're unlikely to win that. You're not going to be able to support them from very many angles. And if they go down, then you're still at a 3v4, even once your teammates respawn. So hopefully they don't go in for too much here. Good pick. That was exactly what your team is going to need to get back in a little bit faster. Unfortunately, your teammate is going in exactly like I said we didn't want them to. So that's going to make this a little more challenging. Nice attempt at the shot there. That you saw them, you immediately went for it, you know, as fast as you possibly could. You knew the laser was out, so you didn't really want to take your time adjusting your aim there. Those shots will land, you know, with practice. So you're doing everything right there. I like that positioning for the wave breaker. That makes it especially obnoxious for your opponents to go in and shred it because there are walls around it, but it's still going to have an impact on the area on the right side of zone, which is where you can see your teammates are pushing. So I like that placement a lot. Booyah goes on zone. Nobody paints through it, so you actually do get a good amount of paint there. If the enemy team paints through that, you don't really get a lot. Looks like you were just out of range. Ooh, nice shot on the back end, though.
Yeah, I've noticed I get partial kills a lot. Especially after they get damaged by my mines. That's how I get a lot of my mine kills.
Yeah, that is definitely a good way to do it. Because you get, like, a good mix of the faster fire rate from not charging it as much, and a little bit of extra range for having charged it at least a little bit. So this is an awkward position because for the next few seconds, it's just going to be you and the vac standing here. Thing is, the vac is protected from enemy shots, and you're not. So I might consider like keeping an eye on this, but seeing if there's another target that I can aim at instead, because otherwise they're just locking you out of play for a little while. Devi, what do you think of this positioning? Is this where you would want to be as Neelier?
I just got back, so I'm just trying to recall
gotcha.
what the situation is here. So there's two things that you can do. It depends on where the rest are, because two of your teammates are down behind you. This is actually probably the better place. Because if I know that the enemy team's in our pit, which it looks like someone is because the teammate actually went down behind Snipe, which means you'd probably be next. This is the spot I actually take because you have a clear line of sight if someone drops behind the Snipe, and just straight on top of the spinner. If all else fails, you can just go back behind that box and wing and jump out, or just swim behind you. But because it looks like that there is somebody behind you, your escape route's the front right. So I take this position a lot myself. Or if anything, you can still swim up, use that box that's right ahead of you, and then you can still right side peek it. Even though it's closer, it still blocks a lot of damage coming your way. So you can still use that box to right peek, and you still have kind of a higher ground. You can see what's happening on the left as well. But yeah, it looks like in this given time, this is actually not a bad spot because someone went down behind you on the left there.
Okay, someone fell through Fight Club.
Now, here's actually where I make a mistake. That ledge there, I think that the Forge Splash Up Pro is still there, when in fact it moved and used its booyah, and that's that booyah that you see on the top left corner of the screen. Because another booyah comes out and it's the Hydra.
Nice shot. And I like to use the Wave Breaker, try and keep the momentum going after you've gotten a pick. Should hopefully help your team get through. Looks like the threat is on the left. Good job recognizing someone's trying to flank. And you're able to get that nice and easy. Very good.
Oh, I love the attempt at the jump shot.
And yeah, backing up, definitely the right call there. Currently we do have a teammate who's up on spinner here. So that's going to draw enemy attention to this area. I probably wouldn't go up on the spinner behind them. I would probably try to take a slightly different angle so that just in case like the Hydra decides to focus on this area, they're not also going to accidentally hit me.
I actually die here. Holy, that was
so it was the player... Where did they come from? Oh yeah, they went up on spinner. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
pretty sure they came after me after they took out my teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it's going to go. Like, if there's someone up here, that's a prime enemy target because they don't actually have any cover up there. They have the ledge, but as soon as you can get an angle around that ledge, it's very vulnerable.
Also, something I remember is that I'm actually not paying attention to that area. My attention is focused on the ink vac.
Oh, yeah, when the ink vat comes out, that kind of shuts down a leader unless if it, like, turns sideways. But it looks like it's focused on you and your teammate. So at this point in time, you can actually shift your aim to the left side and keep the paint there because your teammate's also fighting on the left.
Yeah, and I freak out because I thought it was the ink vac shock that got me in midair, but after the lag passed by, it was actually the end zap.
But you can see how the enemy team's attention is being focused on this spot. And you being here is basically none of the advantage that's like your teammate has because they're a short-range weapon and they kind of want to be fighting up close, and all of the disadvantage of having everybody looking at you. So if you move over to maybe the left side of Grates, maybe that gives you a good shot on this player who's on spinner. Maybe you can shoot something else on the left-hand side. Obviously, the ink vac... That's something where we've seen before, like you're just kind of looking at the ink vac, and at that point you'd really rather just focus on something else for the time being, because the ink vac is slow. It's not like it's going to run you down or something.
I think like there's a habit for me to break because I've in the past, like after an ink vac has finished its charge, I've often sniped it before it fired. and so it's a habit that was built up. So I guess something to work to avoid, like.
It depends on the situation. In this case, it can be avoidable because like there's one right in front of you. This position, you really don't have a solid angle. In this case, like Jem said, with the one in front of you, the positioning spot I'd actually recommend is behind the wall on to your left there, not on this snipe point, but there's like a little wall there just to the left of the grate.
Yeah,
That way,
makes sense.
you're also with your left teammate. You can paint the left, and you actually have an upper right angle that you can snipe people on from there. You could, if you had a charge, it could have either saved this teammate on spinner or helped the teammate below you on the left by just taking away paint, being threat there, having a right side peek. That way, you're still have cover from this person on the spinner if they take down your teammate, which they do. So then you have the opportunity to either drop down through grates real quick to block the ink and jump out, or quickly turn to the right and get a shot.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, one quick thing about this position. When the spinner's up, this is really annoying for backliners in some cases, because look at how
I've
much...
felt that frustration before.
Look at how much of this you cannot do anything about. Like, this is a huge chunk of the middle of the screen that's all just in your way, that's in between you and anything that you want to shoot. Whenever you find yourself in a position like this as like a backline weapon, you probably want to just find someplace else a lot of the time, unless there is something valuable to aim at here or here.
This kind of terrain blockage is why I thought Flounder Heights was really bad for backlines, like, until I found a few positions that worked very well.
Yeah. And that's one of those considerations that Devi makes when Devi makes her backline positioning maps. For those who don't know, Devi has a Google Drive folder that's in the resources section of the Squid School Discord server, where you can go and look at a picture of each of the maps, and she puts down circles where she thinks are good backline positions to take. So if that's a resource that you're unfamiliar with, you can go and check that out. It's in the Squid School Discord server under resources. And that's a really valuable...
a lot of positions.
It's a very valuable resource that I have found for when, for instance, I was trying to learn the heavy splatling. Helped me a lot with understanding, like, what are the places on these maps that I really want to be. It's just kind of based on her experience as a backline player. So definitely recommend checking that out, but let's keep going from here.
Holy, that was a
All right, so that's a team wipe, and so as we come back in, one thing I will say is as you are spawning back in, highly recommend always having the map open, because you're going to get more information from seeing the map screen and seeing where that ink goes than you are most of the time from the kill cam. And when the other, like when you have teammates that are still up, it can give you an idea of where it's safe to jump, because you've been collecting that information for longer than if you just open the map really quickly as soon as you spawn. So I like the use of the leader to try and threaten the Hydra here. They do put the Booyah Bomb on you, but they overextend it a little bit. So we're going to move forward from here. We do need to get on zone pretty soon. So at this point, like, if my teammates aren't going up to paint it, like, I would be running up and trying to tap shot that, because at this point it looks like we only have like 10 ticks left, and nobody really moves up fast enough to do that. So I would be like running down there, this waying, and tap shotting one side of it to try and at least neutralize.
Yeah.
It's not a great situation. Like, your frontliners really should have a little bit more urgency trying to get up there. And ideally, you should be able to sit back and charge shots. But if they're not going to go for it, like, someone's got to. So always be looking out for, like, when the game is about to end, so that you know, like, when it's time to make a desperate play.
Yeah, and it's literally the lesser of the two evils, despite the fact that there was a jet squelcher there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a jet squelcher... You almost have as fast of a kill time with tap shots. Not quite, but you're almost there. It's not a very fast killing weapon. So if you're able to get
Right.
on top of it, you might be able to do frontline things against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now the leader has a lot of power over all the backlines, and even though, like, as a Hydra, I know it's a counter to me, but it counters pretty much all of them just because of its dominance and stuff. But when they have their way forward, I know it's a bit tougher. But even then, you can, as long as you have an aim on it or some part of a charge,
Yeah.
you definitely have the upper hand on it.
Yeah, and it even sometimes feels like it counters Crab Tank sometimes because it outranges the machine gun. But I've been finding that the explosive shot might actually be the same range. I'm not sure though.
The explosive shot, what crab users will do is they'll find you, and they will actually, like, what they do is they'll do kind of their little jump roll forward while launching an explo shot from the crab to make it so that it'll reach
Okay.
you and get behind the cover, so it's actually more damaging to you than the front. Because what a lot of that's literally what a lot of crab users do to me all the time is that they'll do a jump roll forward while launching an explo shot, and they'll keep doing that as I'm trying to back up, but they're painting my feet with that shot, and I tend to
that
get stuck in
makes
it. So that's
a
how they're
lot of
getting the
sense.
little extra range. So you do outrange it, but as soon as they launch it, they know exactly where you are. They know their angle of how they want to arc shot it, and they'll jump forward and launch that shot, so it has a little bit of extra oomph to hit you.
Right.
So,
So it
here
makes it go farther.
is just standing still crab thing. And now here's roll forward crab. You can see that goes just a little bit further. And then for, although I fired this from even further back, it looks like. And look at it, still went this much further. So that gives you a sense of how much additional range you get from that. And then for comparison, even though combat range is not exactly the same as painting range, we'll try and give you a sense of E-liter range, which is here. So rolling crab shot is about the same, but I'd say the biggest concern with the crab's explo shot is that it can use it like an explo. An explo doesn't outrange you, but it can hit up over the top of stuff, which makes it more dangerous because even though, you know, I'm in range of a leader if I'm standing here, the E-liter can't hit me, and I can still, if I know how to aim the thing, hit shots over the top at it. So that's the real concern for me with a lot of these weapons that have the arcing shots, that, like, you're not safe even though they're behind a wall.
Yeah.
So a couple of different reasons why that might still threaten you even if you outrange it. There was a question in chat, which was they were asking what the term feeding means. Feeding comes from MOBAs, if I remember correctly, or yeah, I think it's MOBAs, but there might be some other game that predated those. In MOBAs, when you get killed, your opponent gets stronger. Like they get extra gold. So that gold helps them buy items and improve their stats. So every time you die, it's not that you just respawn back into an even game. It's that your opponent is actually more difficult to beat than they were before. And so the idea is that if you're getting killed repeatedly, you are feeding them. You're making them stronger. So
I think the term comes from Warcraft 3 because that's the birthplace of MOBAs.
it's possible. I don't know the exact story behind it, but that's the mechanic that it's referring to. So that's not exactly the way that it works in Splatoon, but the idea of just like running at the opponent and getting splatted without getting anything in return, it has a lot of the same connotations and a lot of the same frustration from the teammates who get upset about it. Now, in Splatoon, there are some weapons that actually benefit from playing very, very aggressive and ending up dying a lot. The Tetradualies, they're going to run a lot of quick respawn, and they're just going to run in for trades and like dive into enemy ink to go for picks. And when they do that, they're not necessarily having a negative impact on the team, despite the fact that they are feeding. So feeding more specifically refers to a hyper-aggressive playstyle that is going to lead to you dying a lot. Usually used in a derogatory or negative sense, but sometimes playing that way isn't necessarily the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, not to mention, I've seen on a video from Chase recently, he started using Haunt on Tetra Dualies, which, well, you die to someone, their position is going to be revealed to you, like, until they die next. Now, not sure
Zoning
if that's
Overwatch was definitely way after the term feeding was in wide usage. So I would say, like, it's probably more League of Legends that would be popularizing it, if anything. I imagine they use the same term in Dota as well, but again, it was probably well in use in gaming communities a long time before then.
Yeah.
I
And
do see
Dota-
the point of Haunt on Tetris.
Yeah.
So yeah, Haunt on Tetris like has been a thing, but now that I think Chase is starting to experiment with it, it's gaining a little bit more awareness. But like people had been talking about that, you know, at launch when Tetris were found to be still in a very good spot. All right. So Dury, do you have any questions about the match that we looked through? Like, is there anything that you wanted to ask me that didn't get answered during the process of VOD reviewing there?
Nope, none at all.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the stream. Really appreciate having you. And we'll switch on over to Geo.
Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, no problem. All right. I'm going to get
Good
over
luck.
here on the replay code. So that's going to be RY8P TKY6 E455 and NROT.
I guess I can just leave the chat now.
Yeah, if you'd like. If you don't want to stick around for the other VOD review.
Yeah, I think I'll go and do some more practicing.
All right, sounds good. Good luck.
Have a good night.
You too. All right, you here, Geo?
Yeah.
Awesome. So this looks like you're on a team here.
Yes, it's one of my match of duty.
A Ludi match. Okay, awesome. What division and what's the name of your team?
Disper, and it's Division 5.
Division 5. All right, awesome. Yeah, I thought it sounded like you had some competitive experience from the way you were following up on fights in Anarchy Open, so I figured we might be getting this. So, first question, would you like me to be talking more about the team or more about you individually? I can talk about both whenever I see something that stands out. I could even just watch this from the overhead if you're more worried about, like, the whole team aspect of it. But if you'd like me to look at it from your perspective, I can do that too.
I would like more of my perspective, but it's
Gotcha.
okay both. Yeah.
Yeah, if I see anything about the team, I'll definitely let you know. Okay. Sounds good.
Nice.
Let me just double check. Yeah, okay. I'm not broadcasting through Discord, so I need to switch that up real quick. And... oh, the screen isn't even up. One sec. So there's that. There's that. And now I should be able to project that to you. Okay. So now you should see the game. And chat should see the
yes.
game, and we're good. All right. Someone asked what the term poking means. Poking is doing long-range safe damage that isn't going to threaten to kill them right away, but it will force them to move, because if you do stay there, then you're just going to get hit again. So a burst bomb is a really good poking tool. A rapid blaster does a lot of poking. Machines do a lot of poking. Just, hey, you better not stay there. You better not stay there, buddy. If you stay there, you're... nope, don't stay there. Charge slashes from a stamper. That's kind of what poking is. It's a way to very safely displace someone. Man, I'm disintegrating more and more as the stream goes on, but, well, here we are. You know what? It's bugging me a little bit. I might actually just go change shirts. Do you mind waiting for just a second so I can not be sparkly? Be right back.
So, Gio, how's your Ludi experience been so far?
Uh, we kind of fine. Yeah, we won 2 matches, 2 sets,
That's good.
and yeah, hope to make it into playoffs. Let's see how the last 2 weeks go.
Okay.
It's the second Luti I do.
Second one, nice. Yeah, I never know some people because a lot of people this is their first Ludi with a lot coming back into S3 or trying it. So I usually ask and see what the experience is just to go from there.
Yeah, I came back into competitive for Splatoon 3 because I got bored of Splatoon 2 meta at the end of Splatoon 2.
Okay. Proterra is disintegrating too, isn't it? Don't worry, it will be fixed when Gem has proper colors again. Oh, you left again. Chat, can you just all go run speed for me so Gem is confused when he comes back? That'd be fantastic. Literally just say run speed. And he'll have no
Uh,
idea. Or he'll have an idea, but he'll be confused.
what?
All right, I'm back. And I've also got dinner. But I just had to make sure that the shirt would actually show up. This is a new shirt that I just got for Christmas, and it still had a tag on it. And so I wanted to make sure that, in fact, it still has a little bit of a tag on it. There we go, got rid of it. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be poking me. But I ran in to check and see that it would actually show up all on the green screen before I got the tag off, because otherwise it wasn't worth the time. Run speed! Oh no. Oh no. What have we done? Okay. Well, we're being seagulls. All right. Sorry for the wait, Gio, but we are ready to get started here. So it's going to be Rainmaker Undertow. So as a general rule, typically prefer going left on this map mode. Right side is good for like a quick like first checkpoint, but the second checkpoint is usually too difficult. You don't want to completely rule it out because it is possible if you get enough frontline presence in front of you or the enemy team is just way out of position. But most of the time, left is definitely the safer idea. Looks like you've got Booyah, Zuka, Wavebreaker, and Crab to get you through there, which is a pretty good combination of things. I think Wavebreaker is going to be really nice getting around the corner on left. And then you're up against the Hydra. Ideal situation here is that the E-Leader bullies the Hydra out of position long enough that they're not going to be as much of a factor. But it is always important as a frontliner to keep in mind where the backliner is and to not peek those angles and to make sure that you're not getting caught out. Your team comp is actually very similar. The only weapons that are different are Splash versus 52 and Leader versus Hydra. I would say that the 52 is going to be a pretty annoying thing for you and your frontliners. That and the Forge, just they're a little bit longer range, and the 52 in particular has a wall, so it can be hard to get through. So you're going to have to do a little bit more work to be able to get in. Might need to use specials to get yourself in there. We'll see how this goes. So we rotate over to the right side and go for pop. And we're going to get there fast enough to be able to get it, which is great. From there, it's really important to be collecting information now that you're in neutral, now that we know who won pop and everything. And getting pop often gives us a little bit of a positional advantage in that we have a little bit more paint in front. So backing up behind here may not be the idea you're looking for. You might be looking for an opportunity to either collect information or move forward.
Okay.
But it looks like the call was that we're pushing left and you're going up with Suki. And I like this. You've got support from the E-Leader on the left. You've got the Forge going forward with you. So good patience there. And we go in and we don't quite get it here. This did feel a little bit unsupported once you got that far in. Because, like, yeah, from here the leader can help you. But right now, if Suki's not going to go forward with you there, diving around the left-hand side is pretty risky, and they're going to see this paint coming around the corner. So if we're going to do this, we need, like, some kind of go-go-go call-out that's happening. We want the whole team to know that you're starting a fight on left, and for them to follow up on that particular fight.
Okay.
Because without that support, you basically end up pushing into enemy ink in, at best, a 1v1, and in this case it ends up being a 1v2, because Suki doesn't go in there with you. Let's see, where is Suki while this is happening? Yeah, Suki has backed up. Like, Suki went forward a little bit with you, but then backed up when you went for that. So, if you're going to go for that play, what you really want to happen here is to have Suki going around the right side of that wall while you're going around the left side of the wall and pinching those players between the two of you. That's when you might actually be able to get a fight win out of this. But if you go in by yourself, then that's going to result in you just going down most of the time. So it looked like you got baited a little bit because it looked like Suki was with you. Like, a lot of the time as a frontliner, you end up in this kind of position where you see that somebody is with you, and like somebody has been with you up until this exact point. And so you figure, okay, they were with me then, they're going to keep moving forward with me, and we're still going to have their support. And we'll just look really quickly. Like, Suki has backed all the way up to the left zone by the time you're engaged in this fight. So there's a miscommunication there, or a lack of communication. Like, you and your teammates need to know that, like you need to know that your teammates are going to be there for this to be worth it, and your teammates need to know that you're going for it in order to be there to back you up.
Okay, yeah, I tend a lot to go around most of the times and to be, let's say, baited.
Mm-hmm. In that situation, I would say that you as the frontliner, as soon as you decide that you're going to push that, you want to make a shot call. You want to say, pushing left, help left, or something like that. And that way, everybody knows that that's going on. Suki is aware that you're going to be pushing left. Basically, every time you're going to hard engage, basically every time you're going to swim your way into enemy ink with the intent of taking a fight, let your teammates know about that. And it should be a team policy that as soon as one of those fights are called, everybody is doing whatever they can to help that fight. That might not necessarily mean that they're like the ones that are engaging in that fight, but maybe like if they know that a fight is happening on the left, they can cut off escape routes by painting, or they can zone an opponent out who would otherwise be in a position to join the fight, or something like that. You just want everyone involved in every fight, because otherwise, if the enemy team gets all of their members involved in that fight and you don't get all of your members involved in that fight, you're at a numbers disadvantage and you lose that fight. The goal at this point, you know, your team is probably pretty close to mechanically as strong as they need to be. The challenge for your team is going to be more, how do you get all of the members taking the same fight at the same time? That's going to be the big difference between you and your teammates and top-level players, is the coordination aspect. That's what mid-level teams start to really have to struggle with in order to make improvements. It's often not like an individual mechanical issue. Sometimes it's a decision-making thing. You know, sometimes people will go in on their own, even if they called it, it wouldn't help. But the general game plan right now to help your team improve is how do we get everybody shooting at the same player at the same time as often as possible? That's the problem that you have to solve in the simplest form. So having now picked up the Rainmaker, they kind of just got to go for it. There's not going to be enough support to save them here. The Booyah comes out, so this is an unfortunate stagger. I think even from the very beginning, I wouldn't have advised picking up the Rainmaker because we didn't have any numbers advantage yet. Like, Rainmaker gets picked up, like, here, right after you go down. So I can't, say exactly what the plan was that was called, but this Rainmaker is just not going to have the support that it needs to push up, nor even necessarily to stay alive for very long.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
So we can see here the Crab gets used to take down the leader. The Rainmaker has to back all the way up. The Rainmaker carrier is actually one of the frontliners.
Yeah.
Did they use Crab earlier? Is that why they picked it up?
No, I think they just rushed to mid and they.
Oh yeah, they did Crab.
picked
Okay.
a mistake. They
Gotcha.
picked up by mistake going mid.
Oh, and it ended the Crab. Shoot. Okay. That makes sense. So they probably didn't even mean to pick it up at all. It was just a mechanical
Yeah.
accident. Well, yeah, that'll put a damper on things. Suki goes down to the whale, unfortunately, and it's going to get stuck there. So this is really rough. Because of that mechanical issue that they had and because of the miscoordination on the fight on the left, we're staggered really badly right now. You are currently in a 1v4, and so it's really important for you to back up and give up as much space as you need to so that you're in a defensive position by the time your team is actually ready to defend. They're going to get some progress. They're going to grab it. They're going to probably get first checkpoint off of this. You just need to be in the position where once your team finally is all back, that you're able to do something. And what that means is that you need to keep yourself alive. So right now, like, we should know that all of us are down. And I don't think holding the left side is really what's most important here. If you focus on defending the right-hand side, it's easy to rotate over to the left-hand side to stop that first checkpoint or whatever from happening. But if you stay on the left-hand side and they commit to the right, it's going to take you a long time to rotate over there. So this is probably not where I would recommend defending on Rainmaker from. I guess maybe the idea is to get like a Zuka and try and fire it from here. But the thing is, there's the wall in the way, so you have to expose yourself to mid in order to do that. And yeah, it wasn't a particularly safe location to use it from, and you had to be there to use the Zuka to hit anything from that position. So I would say, rather than backing up to the left to get special, I would try to get up on the top right and be defending from the high ground. And that'll give you Zuka spots that you can use, and it'll also make it so you don't have to turn your back to the middle of the map in order to hit anything.
Yeah, maybe jump out, paint to right, and
Right.
just look at there.
You didn't even necessarily have to jump out. There was a moment where you dropped down onto Sponge, but you've got the Sponge that you can just use to get back up there, and that'll get you there faster than jumping out. But maybe, yeah, well, you go and farm special on the left side, and then you jump out and get back in there. That'd be a little slower, but it would be a way to make sure you get special before you go there. All right. From here, unless I've got a lot of callouts that are giving me a lot of information, I'm still worried about right. We haven't done anything unless we've checked the map or something to be able to see whether there's something on right now. There could be someone who was splatted earlier in that engagement getting up to top right, like the Hydra or something, but there could also just be a frontliner sitting just on the other side of mid at the moment. And on Undertow, when I'm down on like this zone area here, I'm always worried that someone's going to come up over the top of mid unless I've got like a lot of pressure there and happen to know that they're not there. And I'm pushing up right now really far up in front of my team if I'm in this position. Like, let's take a quick look at where the rest of the team is. So, you're up on the very far left, well in front of your crab, well in front of your Rainmaker carrier. The only other person who's up is the E-leader. And so, you're a little bit isolated right now. If the crab can't help you, then there's not really anybody who can help you. And it looks like you do end up getting that pick, but that is a 1v1 win, where you didn't know that they were there necessarily at the beginning of that. So that's something where I would definitely advise trying to come around that corner with a little bit more help than you did. So like that bomb, for instance, if there is someone to your left, they see that bomb going across their field of view, and they're already shooting at you. And the only reason that you win this fight is because they missed those first shots. But you can see they fired a good 5 or 6 shots before you even noticed that they were there and got your aim on. So that is a fight that, in theory, you know, on paper, ideal situations, you should have lost. There's a lot of fighting that's going on to the back right of you. And while your team is generally winning, you also don't know for sure that the Rainmaker is able to push up here. Unless you've like checked map or heard that they're going to push up to you or something. Like, we can't hear callouts. There's a lot of information that we don't have about the game that they might have had. But from just looking at this, I don't know for sure that like it's time to push up. Like, I would be checking backwards, turning around and looking to make sure that the Rainmaker can actually safely follow me before I'm painting its way up in front of it. Because look at how far back it is. Like, someone could easily have gotten in between you and the Rainmaker in this time. So if you're making this play, this is more of a I'm flanking the enemy team than a I'm supporting the Rainmaker kind of play. And it ends up not paying off because somebody does actually get in between you and the Rainmaker. So try and, as a general rule, when you're pushing, call where you're pushing and, like, hold your teammates accountable to pushing up there with you so that you have support when you're making those plays. And if they can't support you, if they can't push up and make those plays with you, then you want to be playing a little bit slower and staying with them so that you have a better likelihood of success. That doesn't mean you have to go exactly where they go. Like, a lot of the time when I tell people to play closer together, their first instinct is just to stand right on each other's toes and get shot, like, splatted by the same bomb. But you need to make sure that you're both taking the same fight. And you're so far away from the Rainmaker here that you cannot possibly take the same fight that they are taking. And so that's why I would say that you're out of position here. Nice. So, that'll get things moving forward again. I like here that you're checking on the right just to make sure that it's safe before you move forward, so they have at least enough time to get the splat before then. So great pick on the first player. I have no concerns with that at all. If you get that pick on that player, what should happen is the Hydra trades you back. So you get the pick right here. And this works because the Hydra is shooting at somebody else right now. So you can go in and get this pick cleanly, but now the Hydra shifts to you. And what you need from your team is for people to trade the Hydra back after they get you here, because they really should splat you for this. This should be just 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're down. You do a good job of making them miss and actually getting some shots on, but like your teammates should be making sure to pressure them so that they can't continue to do that, or that they at least get them down. So it looks like you do have a little bit of support there. So what I'm saying is basically, once the Hydra is shooting at you, call Hydra on me, and see if you can get anyone else's attention to that fight to potentially trade that back. From right here, so you dodge them once, and then you start aiming upwards and hitting shots, but as soon as you miss, you want to start dodging again. So from this point forward, you're kind of falling into walk and shoot syndrome. If you've watched my videos, that's a term that I use. You fire a lot of shots that miss here and give them enough time to actually get a partial charge out before you're actually behind cover. So I would have, like, taken a few shots, recognized I was missing, painted my feet, and tried to move around to the side of the wall, and then re-engaged now that they didn't know when I was going to go for it. But
Yeah,
it ends up working out. You get the wipes, which is huge, and now you're going to be able to score a lot. Now your goal is to get as far forward as possible and make some room. We probably could have started moving forward a little bit sooner after the wipe. Because while, you know, you've got the Trizuka, so the only thing to shoot with it is this. But as soon as that happens, we need to get you up and ahead. Yeah, that's about as fast as it could have gone. I don't know how the crab tank gets shredded that quickly. I don't know what happened to it. It's unfortunate that you were only able to get that far. It's still a pretty good push, but the advantage you had, definitely there was potential to get more out of that. Let me rewind a little bit and see why that got cut off so quickly. Okay, so their splash just hard flanks right. It looks like. So here's the pick. Yeah, so the splash is already... Oh, they didn't get the crab off in time, so they were trying too hard to get the crab and not paying enough attention to their surroundings, and so they got picked from that. And then flank comes in. This is actually a flank that could theoretically have been contained if that had been noticed and called out quicker. Just need to play it a little bit more patiently and like let them feed in so that you can delete them before they get on the Rainmaker. Unfortunate. So Suki's the last up, and you're hoping that they back up far enough to give you jumps. Oh, that's not Suki that's up. I see. So it looks like they just got chased down and they were never jumpable in the first place. Okay, here we go. So Suki's already down, so we don't want to be pushing just yet because we're down a member. We have numbers advantage, or sorry, we have the advantage that we've broken a checkpoint and have the lead. So we can afford to play it slow here. We do not need to go in at all. If we can just like make them take longer to get through mid and wait for Tsuki to get back, we can fight at a numbers advantage. And I say numbers advantage in that the Rainmaker is kind of like half of a player for the purposes of numbers advantage. Like, it's more than nothing, but it's worse than pretty much anything else you could have on your team most of the time because it's so slow, because it only has one firing mode, no subs, no specials. So it's definitely dead in the water in any 1v1 that the player is able to get a good situation in. So from here, we don't really need to rush it. We don't need to push. We don't need to get picks right now. All we need to do is throw bombs in front of them and stay alive and keep paint control of mid. If we can do that, even if we get pushed back a little bit, but we slow them down, that gives our teammates enough time to get back in. But if we take a fight right now, it's 3v4. So that's going to stagger the team. That's going to make it so that we go down, and then as soon as Suki comes back, you're still in a 3v4. And in those kinds of circumstances, the Rainmaker actually can push, and you can actually lose this lead. So this is an over-aggressive play. You don't have enough support from your team because there's only one player who can really even get in a position to help you, which is your Splash here, who's in mid. They're starting to move in, but they're running into resistance before they can help you with the fight that ends up taking you out. You don't have a lot of information, so I would say you're rushing it here. Just like, play it slow. You've got the time. You don't have to be making anything happen. You can be collecting information. You can be painting for a special. You can be slowing the Rainmaker down, and you can just wait until your teammate gets back in. See, now the enemy team recognizes they're at a numbers advantage after they get you, and they go and get someone else. And so now it's still a 2v3. Another one of you goes down. A third one goes down. And now you are the last player alive on your team. You're the only one who's in play right now. The reason that you are the only one who's in play right now is in part because you were the first person who went in and went down, even though you were at a numbers disadvantage. So That's the feed stagger loop for you. That's something that's, as a frontliner, you definitely want to be ready to go in and go in when you get an opportunity, but it's also important not to force things when you don't have an advantage and the fight isn't likely to be winnable. So it looks like you are able to sneak one on the Rainmaker here and get away with it, which is about the best that you could hope for in that position. But you are definitely going to go down. And I would also say, from that position, with the number of shots that you missed beforehand, I think the Rainmaker probably could have reacted and dropped back into mid, and then you would have just gone down by yourself. In that situation, at most, I would say throw suction bombs. You might even just want to allow them to get the pedestal in some cases there. But if they give it to you that easily, then go for it. It's just like, in that position, you know, it's like a 1v2 or a 1v3 or something that you're in, and you going in is a pretty low percentage play. If they scout ahead of themselves well and just like make sure that the Rainmaker stays in a safe position, they can probably make it so that you going for that leads to you just getting splatted. Okay, nice. That's another one down. So your team has come in and has won a fight. And so now you're in a stronger position. And now is a time where I would be trying to push in and get something going. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I could tell, you know, just from looking at the wall that it needed a little more paint before you were going to get on it. So especially if, like, the bottom of it is painted, I always just put a dab of paint on it just to be safe on the way up. Unfortunately, that will slow the team down considerably. They won a fight, but now that we're down, that's going to make it so that we can't really do much. But the thing is, we don't need to do much. We've got the lead. We've got 2v2. So we don't need to push them. It's nice to do it when you get the opportunity, but we don't need to. Because if a minute and 49 seconds go by and you're still in mid like this, well, you win the game. Oh my god, what a ledge glitch. That is insane. Did that happen in game, like on your screen?
Yes.
Is that what that looked like?
Yes, that's why I shoot there.
Oh my god, Splatoon, why? That's one of the worst that I've ever seen. That's so bad. Because that completely gives away your position too. So now you have to move someplace else. Oh my god. What a mess. I would say that trading the Hydra here is more down to luck, because they just have a much faster kill time than you, and so going for this fight, you are counting on them hitting shots slower than you hit shots on them, especially since they've got a teammate here. So the fact that you trade is very lucky. This is not a fight that you ever want to opt into when they have charge. For those wondering what I was talking about with the ledge glitch, I'll go back and explain that really quickly. This is something that happens in Splatoon, as people have pointed out, because of the tick rate. So the tick rate is the rate at which the game checks to receive new information from each player. A high tick rate means that the players in the game are synced up very frequently, so it will look pretty smooth. But occasionally, you'll end up in positions where it happens the most around ledges. Because what will happen is the game will try and predict where the player is heading based on their current movement, and update on the other players' screens based on that in between each tick, in between each time it checks. And so what happens here is this player appears in this position on his screen because the game projected that based on how they were moving, they were going to end up there. And so he shoots at them, and note, they just teleport backwards, and now it's that player who's on the back side of the ledge over there that he's actually shooting at. The game thought that they were going to end up swimming off the ledge, and so it showed them swimming off the ledge, but they ended up being way back behind because it just took forever to figure out that, oh, that's actually not where they're going at all. I think that's a little bit more than the tick rate, though. The tick rate is once every 1/15th of a second, and that was definitely on screen for a very long time, so I don't know. The game's online is programmed in a very silly way. This, I am not counting on being fixed, because this has been in since Splatoon 2. We've been dealing with that particular issue forever. Alright. Well, they're only one player up, and you guys just wiped them, which is awesome. So it looks like you're actually trying to make the play on the right, which I'm not a huge fan of. The right side is best for getting a quick first checkpoint, but after that, you have to push uphill on unpaintable turf. It's like your old grandpa saying, "When I was a boy, I had to walk to school uphill both ways in a blizzard." Like, the walking uphill both ways in a blizzard is actually what the right side of Undertow is. And the other issue with it is that it actually, if they stop your push, it puts them closer to the side that they want to push on, which is the left side. Because of the right side's weakness, the left side is prioritized, and so if you take it to your left side, which is their right side, you're actually moving it further away from them and scoring than if you were to go to the right. From here, they don't have to cross mid to get back to where they want to be scoring on the left-hand side. They just go, and they have the cover of mid, and they can usually sprint it pretty well when the enemy team tries to push it on the right. Also, it looks like you have a player who's already pushed up pretty far into the left side, so the fact that we end up going right here at first is definitely slowing the push down by a lot and stalling it out for you.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
See, Devi, when you say that you're walking uphill both ways in the blizzard, that's actually accurate because you live in Canada. This is like an old man just talking about how things were different back in his day and people were tougher and the food was better too, or whatever. So basically an absolute cluster happens, and now we're back to being pretty much dead even. Unfortunate pick on Suki there. I like that you're backing up as a result of that pick. We need to be making sure that there's enough space behind us that we can retreat if we get rushed down. Because the right idea for them, if they're in position, is to rush us down on the right-hand side. The E-leader's on left, so their ability to have an impact on the match is severely limited as soon as the enemy team drops to the right. And so you're at a pretty significant numbers disadvantage if you get caught on the right, and it's good that you're backing up and not being seen by them. Contesting the Rainmaker shield a little bit just to stall it out. Ooh, unfortunately, you lose your splash there too. These are all deaths that it's really important for especially the front line to be avoiding in these late phases of the game, because if the enemy team pushes to lead, you don't have time to make another push. It's everything or nothing. So this is where you want to be playing your absolute safest. This is where you want to be as annoying as possible to push in against. This is where you don't want to be taking any risks. You just want to play really slow, play lane, win game. And that was a little bit risky. Once they drop into the ink and you can't see them anymore, I would have actually waited a second to see where else they show up. Because you firing where you fire is based on the assumption that they just sat still in the ink there. And that is not what they're ever going to do. So that pick happens. And you see this player here, right? If you're in range, then absolutely, yes, take these shots right now. But you're not in range yet. You need to get in range first. And once you get into range, you don't know where they are. So they should, in theory, win this fight because they see you dropping off of the ledge earlier. They know you're here. And it's only because you're able to cross them up this hard that you even get the trade. So as soon as they drop down and you lose visual on them, don't give yourself away. Just keep your distance, maybe throw a bomb or something, and make them move slowly. We've been staggering a little bit here. Our team is able to get a quick trade on the Rainmaker, and that slows it down, which is great, but we really want to be stabilizing a little bit and getting more control here, rather than just kind of rushing in and taking crazy fights here and there. So you saw that player retreat around to the right side, around this block, and you see that your teammate's going in. Don't hesitate. Just go after that. Just dive this. Get in there quick, take them out quick, and then deal with something else quick. Excellent, excellent 1-2. And that's going to win you the game, because there's no shot that they get the Rainmaker popped at this point. All right. So biggest things I would say, and I would say this generally for both you and a lot of your teammates to a lesser degree. The biggest things that I would say as a takeaway for that are, number one, make sure everybody is taking the same fight at the same time. That's gotta happen, or else you're going to put yourself at numbers disadvantages that stronger teams are going to be able to exploit. Number two, when you're down in players, make sure you're like yelling at each other on comms to not take engagements, to stay away from fights as much as you can, to keep yourselves safe. Because as soon as you go in to a disadvantageous fight, you're probably going to stagger, and it's a stagger that leads to you losing lead at the end. It would lead to you losing lead at the end. It didn't actually happen. That was a hypothetical statement. And lastly, I would say especially when you're getting close to the end, especially when you have lead, when you're in a good position, it's really, really important not to take like crucial deaths. It's important not to go down at times that would give your opponents a way back into the game. Sometimes deaths are unavoidable. Sometimes deaths are even advantageous if you're able to get enough out before you get the splat, or before you get splatted. But there are some of these times where you or your teammates are getting caught in places where you don't need to be fighting over anything. Where, like, all you've got to do is make them go slower. Where all you've got to do is, like, not let them pick up the Rainmaker or get into mid or anything like that. Like, I want to see a lot more just lame bomb throwing from you. Especially on the splatter shot, which has a really good bomb for lame bomb throwing. Because the more of that you put out there, the less they're going to be able to just walk forward like their Forge was in that last fight that you took, where they took your zone. Like, you don't need to be fighting that with a main weapon. You can just be like, nope, there's a bomb there. You got to wait, buddy. The bomb's going to explode. Oh, no, there's another bomb there. Shucks. Guess you just can't go there anymore. Oh, man, what a pity. Oh, another bomb? Are you kidding me? Man, I'm so sorry, dude. I would love to let you in through our zone, but I guess it's just not in the cards today, huh? You know, that's kind of the way that you want to be playing it, rather than, I need to hold forward and get this player right now. Because they actually had the jump on you based on the way that you took that engagement, because you took it so quickly and so obviously. One mechanical thing for you, I would say, is to work more on limiting the information that the opponents have on you before you take a fight. Because a lot of the time you're like painting around blind corners, you're dropping off of ledges, which is always going to be visible because they're going to see your squid dropping through the air. You're firing shots before you have your aim on, you're throwing bombs at them that aren't really going to help you that much in the fight. There are a lot of different ways that you can reveal yourself to an opponent before the engagement happens, and you want to try and reduce those as much as possible to raise the possibility that you're going to get in there stealthily. So that's something that I would say for you individually to work on. A lot of those other things, like, I would say pretty evenly for the rest of your teammates to bring all of that back to all of them. But definitely for you in particular, make sure that when you're going in, you're at least making sure that you're not seen first. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, it's not related to the match itself, but like I see I shoot a player and they go into their ink and they heal pretty quick, but when I do it, I don't heal at all. And I don't know why. It's a pretty stupid question, but
So healing, there is a little bit of a delay before it starts. It's not super slow, but here, one thing is also that if you're touching enemy ink, it's doing damage to you, and so it's going to cancel out the healing. So that might be what's happening too. So let's get clipped a little bit. There we go. So see, if I'm dropping down into ink and bumping into enemy ink, I'm not going to heal. I have to stay in my color ink before it starts. So there's a little bit of a delay there. Oops, I got hit a little bit too much there. I love how it makes you wait the entire respawn timer. That's so kind of it. So you can see how there's just a little bit of a delay before those start going away, but then once they go away really quickly. It's like 1 second, and then it starts to fade away. But again, if you get damaged and you touch enemy ink at all, that just keeps all of the damage there. So make sure that you're on a very pure patch of your own ink and you're not bumping into the side, because that will slow it down for you.
okay.
Good question. Do you have any others?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. If you think of any that you realize, oh wait, shoot, I should have asked him that, just feel free to DM me on Discord. I'm always happy to get back to those and answer those questions.
Sure.
So thank you so much, Gio, and best of luck to you and your team in Div 5 and Ludi.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank you.
look
also
forward
for...
to your continued success, because it looks like you won this one. So hopefully you did well in that set too.
Thank you very much also for this analysis.
Absolutely. And say hi to your team for me.
Okay, thanks. I'll say it. Bye.
All right. Have a good one. Okay. Face cam frozen. Woo! Yay! It's everybody's favorite time of the stream. I believe there are 11 Ludi divisions. Well, oh no, actually there would be 12 because DivX counts as one. So it goes down to Division 11, but Division X is not included in those numbers. There we are. There's Gem. There's the fuzzies, and bye fuzzies. And now Gem looks like a normal human again. Okay. That's all taken care of. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A plus dinner here. So I'm going to spend a second eating a little bit and then spend a second answering questions that I see in chat. Because I haven't done Q&A in a little bit, and I'm getting a bunch of questions. So probably a good time to talk about that. My day's been going all right. What do you mean Romeo appearances aren't everyone's favorite? It was sarcasm. It was not real. No, I'm. It sounds weird to say I'm glad your kitty threw up, Jules, but I am glad that they threw up. Can I borrow some pixels? Oh no, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Last Data. Just wanted to donate. I've been loving the splatter shot after you recommended it to me during my lesson. Oh yes, I've converted someone. I've converted someone to the splatter shot. It is a cool weapon. T-Tech from Splatoon 2 was cooler, but it's still pretty good. Can dualies do shooter movements? Yes, but they're less advantageous. So, I assume what we're talking about when we say that is that you're main strafing. So you're doing this sort of thing back and forth. And this sort of thing is a lot less accurate because you have the double reticle. And you're going to go faster going like this, and you're also going to give yourself a better fire rate and better accuracy. So in combat, you're typically not going to see dualies players doing this sort of thing. Once you're committed to a fight, you're probably doing dodge rolls. But if it's a fight that you realize you just want to dip out of, like, sometimes people will fire a few shots like this just because if they're not sure, if they want to poke a little bit, be like, hey, no, don't go there. Or they're trying to paint, and then they realize they're hitting someone. And in those cases, you might, you know, do a little bit of this. But once you actually get into a fight, you're just going to dodge roll. You're just going to go for it. Would you recommend Ninja Squid for dually squelchers? I recommend Ninja Squid for a lot of weapons. But my... I think, like, there are a lot of situations where it's going to be useful. That said, sendu.inc/builds is my answer to that question. If people are not running Ninja Squid on dually squelchers, I trust the people who are putting builds on that website more than I trust my own opinion of it, because they are better than me at the game, and also they main that weapon, which is another perk. How should not main strafe? So main strafing, to be clear, is you use your main weapon's firing animation to stop you from swimming so that you can turn quickly. So a shooter player can do this sort of thing. Like, something like a splatter shot can just go back and forth because as soon as they press ZR, it's stopping them dead in their tracks, and they're firing a shot very quickly. Substrafing is slightly faster, but for a shooter player, being able to get something that's like 1 frame slower than substrafing while also firing a shot is usually advantageous in a fight. Like, you'd probably prefer to be doing this if you're fighting someone over substrafing a lot of the time. That's not to say that there aren't times to substrafe, but it's definitely a really good thing to try. Now, the thing with the Nautilus or any splatling is that, we'll show it with a heavy, yeah, you can change directions by pressing ZR, but you're just going to stand up and start charging. You're not actually going to be able to fire shots in the meantime. Like, that's how long it's going to take before you're going to be able to fire again, which is nowhere near as fast as substrafing is. So, main strafing is going to be much more limited utility there. Thank you so much for the donation, Anime Hero. Donation train. Question, I've been tilting a lot lately and just been generally stressed. Do you have any recommendations for de-stressing? There are meditation techniques that are actually really good for this. I don't, subscribe to, like, there's some meditation systems, I guess, that are, like, heavily informed by spirituality. And it doesn't need to be, associated with that sort of thing. But, like, it's meditation, kind of, to just, like, sit in a dark room, close your eyes, maybe put headphones or earplugs in if it's noisy. Just get really quiet, reduce all of your sensory input, and just, like, try not to think about things. Just focus on clearing your head of any thoughts whatsoever. Just no thoughts, head empty. And getting to that point gives you a lot of perspective on what it is that you're going through. It can help you process. It can help you clear out things that have been nagging you from earlier in the day that are stressing you out. That, I think, is a really powerful tool, specifically for competition, for when you get nervous. Because it helps you clear, especially the baggage of, I'm worried I'm going to lose, and that nervousness that I can't do anything to control, because that's an external thing. Like, there are 7 other people that have a higher impact on whether I win or lose than I do. It takes your mind off of things that you actually need to do in order to win, to help you win, and puts your mind more on, like, the results. It keeps you from being process-oriented. And clearing your mind like that can really help. I found it really useful for Super Smash Brothers, where I would just... In between stocks, you have like 2.5 seconds on the respawn platform, and I got to a point where I could just close my eyes, clear my head, open my eyes, think, okay, what hit me? How do I not get hit by that again? Okay, let's go. And I had enough time to be able to do that, get my head clear, and that sort of thing won me a lot of games that I would otherwise have lost because I was behind. So, hopefully that helps. Best long-range weapon you recommend for splat zones? Long-ranged weapon? I mean, the E-Liter is the best anchor weapon in the game, probably. It's being held back a little bit at the moment. A lot of them are choosing Flingza instead, so I guess that's a long-range weapon. That kind of counts. It's a midline weapon, but it's played as an anchor, so I don't know. You decide whether that means that, but I would say strongest options are going to be E-Liter, Flingza, maybe like Explo. You could throw a Tri-Stringer and Heavy in there. Those are probably the top anchor choices. What weapons do you recommend for someone to use as a 96 gal? What is it you like about the 96 gal? Is it that you like being able to two-shot? Is it that you like the range? Is it that you like InkVac? Like, what is it about it that you enjoy playing? Because that'll influence what answer I give you. No, it has charge hold. Yeah, it has charge hold. So I mean, you can do things like here. Let's go grab it. Where's the Nautilus? There it is. So like, you can start charging. Get over here, keep charging. Get over here, keep charging. So, there's that sort of thing, I guess. If you're talking about when to charge hold, that's a really useful mechanic for you. Like, what you do there is you get charge ready, like, way back here, and then you just swim around and use the whole charge on someone who didn't see you. So, like, this is actually a really good way to use it right here. Like, that player had no warning that I was here, because I was getting my charge from a place I was safe, and then I was able to move that charge out so that I was only exposed once I already had the shots ready to fire. So that's the idea. Okay. What weapon do you think is most underrated right now? Probably Nautilus, actually. I think that Nautilus is really underexplored, and that if people get past the kit, that they could definitely get a lot more out of it than they have so far. Okay, Soup Chicken asks, how do you get VOD reviewed? How do I find and join a team? Number one, DM me on Discord about it, and we'll hash that out there. And number two, I have a video all about that. It's called How to Find Your Team, and it's on YouTube. And I recommend looking at that because that's a really long topic. Do you know how to determine relative value of players, like in chess? In chess, you can put a much more numerical objective number to that, because those pieces never change. But, like, players, like... I mean, first of all, that's very objectifying. That's something that's, you know, it's a little bit cold to talk about human beings in that way, but if we're talking about just, like, for the purposes of analyzing a game and figuring out how to increase that, increase your relative value, you'd have to get down to, like, one quantitative number that is a good judge of, like, what they're supposed to be doing. So maybe, like, how much are they displacing the other team? Like, how much space are they winning for the team based on what they're doing, maybe? I don't know. It's a little bit too abstract of a question, I think, to get a really good statistical answer there. But it'd be interesting to put some models forward and see what useful comes of it. Thank you so much, Jonathan Zink. Donates $5, says, how do I keep from throwing at the end of a tower control match? I keep getting... excuse me, to the point where I'm in the lead with like a minute left and then losing. The important thing is to play really safe and have specials ready to force them off the tower. If you have like a Booyah Bomb, just literally spend the last 30 seconds staying alive and keeping that booyah bomb. Don't even worry about trying to like put that much pressure out. Don't worry about trying to get picks. If you can put a booyah bomb at tower at the end of the game, it's GG, right? They literally cannot stay on the tower. And in the meantime, while it's detonating, you can be moving to get on the tower, and you just hop on the tower. Now you're on and they're not, and you win the game. So like, there are a lot of ways you can just totally shut the door in tower control. Putting missiles on tower, putting killer whale on tower, just like keep yourself alive. And then when you have the best opportunity your team is going to have to stop the tower, maybe they're stuck at a checkpoint and you have 2 specials ready to go, that's when you pop it, that's when you go in. Don't just run forward and panic because they're on the tower. Use the time that you have. Use the time where, okay, I know they're pushing and they're scoring, but they have to get down to 17 and they're at 57 right now. I have time. I could even let them through this checkpoint if that's what's advantageous to us. I don't want to stagger. I don't want to go down. Hi, Peebles. It's been going great. Question, I've been a typical splatling who's gotten bored and wants to try something more aggro. Been trying to pick up Carbon Deco. Mostly a terrible experience. What to do? Wants to try something some more aggro. I mean, that's such a vastly different weapon in terms of mechanics and playstyle that, like, you're going to have trouble switching over because it's just completely different. With Carbon Deco, you need to play for stealth a lot. You need to play to not be seen until it's time for you to delete people. And then it is the most technical roller, I would say, because you do need to hit like multiple instances of damage to splat someone a lot of the time. And so having your aim on well enough that you can do that you can combo with burst bombs or whatever else, is really useful to practice mechanically, so that when you do set up an opportunity for yourself to win a fight, you're going to win it 100% of the time. I naturally want to not care about losing, but that's not good for the comp mindset. I disagree. It's one thing to not care about improving. It's another thing to not care about losing. Losing is not entirely under your control. Losing is as much your opposing players, it's as much under your opposing players' control as it is under yours. So it's not about winning and losing. Focus on learning. That's what's actually going to get you to improve. If you worry, if like you lose and you're like, oh, we need to stop losing, that's not getting you any closer to actually not losing. You can maybe use it to light a fire under you, like, okay, I need to be improving faster than I am, but it has to be focusing you on improving. If it's not focusing you on improving, it's distracting you. And that's what's tending to happen when people get nervous. They're worried about losing. They're not worried about, okay, I really need to not go down in the last 20 seconds here because that's going to give them a numbers advantage that they might actually be able to use to get lead. Those kinds of concerns are much more valid and should do much more to change the way that you're playing the game. That should be what's going through your head. But I need to not lose takes you away from the part where you actually do what you need to do to not lose. Had a lesson some time ago where I showed you a tower control match, and after putting into practice your advice, I've noticed I've been getting better in it, so thank you. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Morgan. Thanks for saying so. Best shooter or blaster? Best shooter is the Splash-O-Matic. It is also the best weapon in the entire game. Top level teams are running 2 at minimum, and in some cases 3 Splash-O-Matics on every team. As for blaster, Range Blaster's not terrible. V Blaster's not terrible. Neither of them are really meta right now. They're just a little bit slow and difficult to get into flank positions with. I definitely, personally, stay away from the Lunas and the Clash. You're just giving up too much in terms of range, in terms of your ability to paint, for not enough value in terms of slaying. Like, the main weapon of Luna is, in my opinion, straight up outclassed by the vanilla blaster, and always will be until they buff it. As for the rapids, they're not bad, but they again suffer from paint, and the problem right now is like there's not that much that they can do against the crab. The crab probably sees them and is able to just roll away from them if they get hit once. They don't do lethal damage fast enough to kill the crab, and their specials aren't doing an awful lot to stop it either. Tri-Strike is something, but I don't know. Basically, the question of is this weapon good right now, in a lot of ways can be boiled down to, can this thing do anything to a crab tank? If you can answer that question well, then your weapon is probably doing pretty well. How good is Mini Splatling? Held back by its special in a tragic way, because Mini plus Burst Bomb is a very powerful combination. If they gave that thing missiles, it would be meta. But as such, the hammer has relatively limited utility. Hammer does have some like niche use cases for trying to combat crab tanks, so it's probably not the worst thing right now. But it's a little bit underwhelming, I would say, as a midline weapon. You're probably looking more for, if you're looking for an aggressive weapon, probably more like a 52 kind of thing. And if you're looking for more of a paint support, you're probably talking about like the Zimmy, which will get you Big Bubbler, which is a little bit more useful. What do you think about Gluga? Main weapon is pretty outclassed. It just doesn't paint enough and doesn't have a high enough fire rate. If you fix either of those two things, we reconsider it, because it's got about the best kit that it could possibly have. But it's still not really making waves or anything. You'll see it played up until like relatively high level solo queue, but at top level play, it's going to fall off. How do you get good? I have a whole video on how the word good is completely useless for the sake of improving when used in that sense. So I'd recommend going and watching that. What is my Discord? I assume somebody's probably linked it at this point, but here are my links. Oh no, how far back do I have to scroll? Okay. Man, I'm kind of far back here. I'm like 9 minutes behind now. Oh dear. How do I get better at Splatoon? Well, I mean, that's what my entire YouTube channel is about. Like, that's not an easy answer I can give you. I could write a book on the subject. Thoughts on Hagglefish Tower Control? I'd like to know why you don't like it that much. I don't know. The path is very... Once you get over to the right side, it makes it so that there are a lot of areas where it's very difficult to push through. You just set up a crab tank on that top left area on defense. What does the enemy team do about that sort of thing? It feels like it's very cramped, the area that you're forced to fight over the tower in. And so you just get, like, zoned out super duper hard. There are some flanks. They're just not particularly good flanks. So it's very meh, in my opinion. It's not great, but it's not anywhere near the worst either. Which game is better? Are we talking, like, of the Splatoon games? I mean, it's difficult to compare them right now, but I will say that there are a lot of things about Splatoon 3 that are better, and the fact that the early metagame is this skewed towards one special, towards Crab Tank, is still not as bad as the meta from Splatoon 2, where everything was just Tri-Slosher. I didn't play enough Splatoon 1 to be able to say, but I know that Splatoon 1 was worse balanced. There were just a lot of things that were fundamentally broken in that game. Um. So the Discord server will be found in the links that I've been posting, and from there you can just DM me because I'm the fearless leader role or something like that. You know, I'm at the very top. You'll be able to find me. How do I get in? Communication is so bad on Splatoon, I find it difficult to meet players and get into Discords. Get in. So, Angel, I would recommend you go and check out Inkopolis Crosswalk. It's a Discord server full of other Splatoon Discord servers. And that will get you like a really big comprehensive list of all of the major public ones. From there, especially once you start building a team, you'll tend to find that there are a bunch of teams that you run into at tournaments that you play pretty close matches with, and then just like talk to their captains afterwards and like get their Discord information, and you'll be able to scrim with them more frequently. And a lot of the time, you get whole groups of teams that are, again, around the same skill level that make their own scrim Discord servers, where you can just go and have all of these teams together in one place, and that's a really good way to network. Do you think Tactical is marginally better now that backliners are falling out of the meta? It's always had a Rainmaker niche, and now it's still just a Rainmaker niche. I mean, Respawn Punisher E-Leader is definitely being seen less, but... yeah, you could probably say it's marginally better. I wouldn't say that it changes its place on like, my special tier list that much. It's a good way to get over social anxiety for joining teams. That is a tough one. With social anxiety, I would say your team needs to do some work to support you. Like, if you're very upfront, like, hey, I get nervous around humans, they spook me, then they'll, like, your teammates should be willing to, you know, try and be calm, be careful, be supportive, be positive. And I've found that sort of thing to be helpful, but... you know, there are some cases where, you know, if you're with an opponent who's like, or with a teammate who's tilting you or who is making you feel scared or nervous, like, that might just not be a good fit. So be good to yourself and look for teammates that you're comfy with. Worst maps for every ranked mode. Okay, Splat Zones. I'd say, like, Mincemeat. Yeah, Mincemeat's a pretty good answer there. There's just no way to get through mid. It sucks. Clamblitz, definitely Mincemeat. I've never seen a map that stalls out that hard. Tower Control, Mahi Mahi. I hate playing it there. It makes no sense. There's no space. There's no way to get into the enemy base that makes any sense. Just gross. And Rainmaker... probably Mahi. I'd go with Mahi. Hammerhead is a close second on all of those. There's basically not a Hammerhead that I really like. No matter how well I play on Glooga, I won't be able to reach the highest ranks. I mean, you'll be able to get, like, high... I've seen Gloogas at, like, 2600, 2700 X power in Splatoon 2. Like, they get pretty high up there. It's just, like, when you're playing in tournaments against the best teams in North America, that's when it starts to fall off. That's the level at which you're like, maybe not. But you'll be able to do fine in X battles if you really work at it. And I've seen plenty of Gloogas in, like, mid-level play. There are Glooga players who are playing at a higher level than I am. It's not like it's a super nasty glass ceiling you're going to hit at some point. But, yeah, I definitely don't consider it one of the better weapons for winning the game, if that's what your goal is to try and do. How do I stop accidentally fidgeting my aim off of opponents when in up-close fights? Practice. Work in the training room on going... where's... Do you just not have a reticle when you're not aiming the splatling? That's annoying. So work on being able to go from here to here steadily in a straight line without overcorrecting. Getting your hands steady like that and slowing down as soon as you overcorrect like I did. You saw I went a little off and then back on. Slow down to the point where you're not overcorrecting and then speed back up so you can do this sort of thing quickly. And that'll help you keep it steady. What main plays the most like Splash? Splatter Shot, probably. If you want to play it supportively, then Junior's closer. If good players win 1v1s and great players win 2v1s, what are players who win 3v1s? Also great players. The 3v1 player is better than the 2v1 player, by the way. And by 3v1, I mean you have two teammates that are taking the fight with you. Not that you're the one in the 1v3. Don't take 1v3s. Take 3v1s. Do you have ideas on how to improve maps? Make them bigger and have more flank routes? Like, not bigger as in longer. They're plenty long as they are. You need to make them wider. If they're not wider, then you just don't have flank routes. Brine Water is great. Compared to, like, Mahi Mahi or Hammerhead, Brine Water is, like, amazing. I think Brine Water does still suffer a little bit from being linear on your way out of spawn, but I love the way that mid works and how there's a shortcut into mid and that there's an actual flank route. There's so few actual flank routes in Splatoon 3, but that map has one of them. I think it was a step in the right direction. Will we see the return of X body spray for a Weapon to X? Thing about Weapon to X series is that I can't do it on Splatoon 3 and have it mean as much. Because all I have to do is get to, like, S rank, which is the halfway point in what it was in Splatoon 2. And it also means that because I don't have separate ranks for each mode, every single new weapon I were to do would have to be a new file, so it's just not super viable. Scrolling. Should I consider using the Tentabrella? It is a strong weapon once they fix it and once Crab Tank is out of the meta. Like, it had a niche in Splatoon 2. It was used at top level. The problem is that there are some glitches that make it so that the tent shield doesn't work the way it should and you get shot through it. And also that the metagame right now has a lot of things that can shred the shield very quickly. So you're going to tend to get shot out of it pretty quick. But I can definitely see a world where Tentabrella is back again. I wasn't going to join the stream, but then I found out it's for gamers like me. I'm a gamer. Welcome, gamer. Diamond, haven't you already asked me like multiple times to play ink brush matches before, Diamond Star? You're just trying to get me to play as much ink brush as I can. I'm not actually playing matches right now. I'm eating food. Due to a small twitch I have, I can't use motion controls well. How long do you think sticks can take me? Sticks, so they'll take you like it's not so much that you're going to hit a hard ceiling. It's more that it's going to be harder for you to achieve as highly than it would be if you could use motion, is kind of the way to think about it. Like, for example, when Kiver played Aerospray in Splatoon 2, he normally has like mid 2800s XP peaks, and he was at like 2600 on the Aerospray. So, I mean, that's still incredibly high, but he was about 250 points lower than he would normally have been. Like, getting used to motion controls, you're going to be a few hundred points higher than you would have been if you had learned the game on stick controls, is kind of the way to think about it. So you can go as far as you want with it, you know. It's totally possible that you become the best player in the world that way. It's just way harder and way less likely. Is it just me or is your cam shaking? Yeah, it might. Like, if I... Right now it is shaking because I'm hitting the desk. It is... Actually, the hit. And the controller is moving because the controller is also on that desk. An earthquake in the real world affects the Splatoon world. Whoa. Multi-dimensional... Oh god, what did I do? Nope. Not doing that. Let's get out of that menu. Can you explain how the strategy of feeding and getting yourself killed, even with quick respawn, can work out in the end? It needs follow-up if you're going to do that. You need to distract enough enemy players that your teammates can then get in and get more splats than the opponents did. Like, if you as a Tetra Dualies player... Here, let me do a quick swap of what we're looking at. No, wait, that's a bad idea. That isn't going to work. So if you go in... Well, okay, let's use the dummies. So, let's say I'm a Tetra Dualies player. These are two opposing players. I dive in and get behind them like this, and I force these two to both turn around. They splat me, but now their backs are turned to my teammates who follow up from behind them. That's a 1-for-2 trade, and I have quick respawn, so even though I didn't get any splats, I'm back in faster than either of these two players are, and that's a big advantage for my team. That's one way that it can work. Another way that it can work is just by distracting these players. If I get their attention over here, and I, fight my way down to its logical conclusion and stall them out, even though they do eventually get me, if my teammates, who are 3, are able to get a fight win on these two players and take them out, once again, that ends up being a numbers advantage for us. And again, because I didn't get any splats, I'm going to be back in quicker. So, those are the kinds of ideas that you're looking for. It's very team dependent. Like, playing a quick respawn strategy relies on you going in when your teammates can actually follow up. Because otherwise, you are just putting your team at a 3v4 for no reason. Favorite map from Splatoon 2 and 3? From Splatoon 2, I really liked Piranha Pit. Rainmaker wasn't the best there. If I'm looking for, like, what the best map would be to port over, it would be the Reef, because it actually had freaking flank routes. You could circumnavigate mid. Why do they hate circumnavigating mid? But Reef was really, really good, and I would love to see Reef back without any changes. Humpback was really good. In Splatoon 3, it's like, I don't know. Mako Mart, probably. $96 because of the range, and it looks like the 52. I've used the 52 more. I mean, 52 is really good. But for the range, weapons that play similar to that are like Rapid Pro, or like you could go for something as short range as a Splattershot Pro, like a Forge. You could go for Jet Squelcher for a little bit more range, custom Dually Squelcher, or sorry, Dually Squelchers if you don't mind a little bit of mechanical stuff you have to learn. What do you think should be run on a heavy splat lane? Sendu.inc/builds is my answer to that question. What made you change over to 52 lately? I think 52 has better answers to Crab Tank, and it can play more aggressively out in the open. it doesn't need to worry as much about stealth as a splatter shot does to get stuff done. Sendu.inc/builds. There. What do taxes look like as a streamer? Oh man, I am not looking forward to having to figure that one out. I'm just going to take him to H&R Block and cross my fingers that I don't forget anything. Because I don't know. I think it's probably going to be different forms for like a lot of different income streams. It's going to be annoying. Have you ever been told that you sound like a better John Mulaney? I haven't heard that one. I have been compared to John Mulaney. There was a girl I dated a long time ago who told me that that there were two people that she had a crush on, me and John Mulaney. And that was how I found out who John Mulaney was. I think his voice is really funny, though. Like, he uses it to great effect in his stand-up routines. Is Ninja Squid good to use on dually squelchers, or are there better options? Sendu.inc/builds. Why shouldn't I play handheld? Literally the only reason is that you can't connect your Switch to an Ethernet adapter. Like, you can't use a wired connection. That's it. That's the only reason I would say not to use it. There's a slight disadvantage in that you can't do the thing that I do to Booyah, where I reach my right thumb across, and that way... So, like... Here. Oh my god. There. So what I do is I reach my right thumb across so that I can keep firing and moving and aiming and doing whatever else I need to do, while also Booyah bombing. Or Booyah charging. You know, like, I can still do all the things I need to and press that button with that control scheme. I don't know how you do that on handheld. That's probably the only... But, like, I've known a lot of really strong players who run handheld. I don't think that's holding you back much. The motion of turning the... Yeah, it's gyroscopic, so... If you turn, I've done this in an airplane too. If you turn in an airplane or a car, it will detect that you're turning and turn your aim. So don't try to do that while you're in a vehicle. Curious why players don't talk about Booyah Bomb's ability to supply your team with special charges. Is it just not that? I mean, yeah, it's great. And it's something you always want to take advantage of when they throw it out there. There's not that much to talk about with it. It's good that you do that. I just don't know in what context we need to explain more about it. Loving Salt Spray Rig is fine. It's okay to like bad maps. You just want to recognize that you don't want to play that in a tournament. If you have to play Salt Spray Rig in a tournament, you're not going to like Salt Spray Rig anymore. Anyone know if the gear builds on Sendu are made by just any... No. If it says +1, that is one of the best players in North America that made that build. If it says +2, that's a high-level player who made that build. If it's +3, that's the high end of mid-level competitive play, and they still probably know what they're talking about. And they are going to be a little all over the place because people disagree. You know, even at top level, players are going to run it for different reasons. They're going to run it to support different play styles. You kind of want to look at what they're doing, why they're doing it, and think about what you would want to choose out of what you see. My favorite mode is Clam Blitz. Do I just need to be more main weapon dependent on Slosher Deco versus bomb defense players? Slosher Deco. Line Marker is one of the worst subs in the game. It's often not even worth the ink that it takes to throw it. I would just use the main weapon anyway. John Mulaney is a comedian. Stand-up comedian. Why do you not play Splash? Because I haven't figured out Crab Tank. And I don't really feel like figuring out Crab Tank because I know that it's going to get nerfed into the ground in the next patch if Nintendo knows what they're doing. And I want to have a weapon that's going to be patch-proof. What is wave dashing? That's a melee technique. I mean, there are other things in other games that are called wave dashing too, but I know it from melee. It's not a thing in Splatoon. If Salt Spray were to return from S1, how much of a train wipe would it be? I mean, it'd better be banned in every tournament ever, and we're not going to enjoy it competitively when it comes into rotation. But, I mean, if people like it, then bring it back in. Can you answer my question? Yes, but I don't see your question, so I guess I can't because I don't know what you asked. What is the funniest tag you've seen? My personal favorite is Inky Minaj. I really like Inky Minaj. If they're out there, much love. Tips mentality-wise for not blaming my teammates. Focus on what you can improve on. Look at, like, what could I have done better? And any thoughts about what they could have done better are not helping you win, so focus on what you could have done better. The way to not think about one thing is to think about something that's better. So think about something that's more useful than blaming your teammates instead. Why is Salt Spray Rig hated? Just a lot of map design problems. It was really brutal to try and fight an E-leader on. It was asymmetric game design, so one of the E-leaders on the team, they'd inevitably run an E-leader. They would have right side peak advantage, and the other one wouldn't from certain positions. It was kind of gross. Think quick holy moly, Jules! Thank you so much. Thinking about the cat cam, also going back to Twitch now because YouTube confuses me. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Cat cam is coming. I'm just making sure, because the channel is probably going to lose money for this month and the next month after, and I just want to make sure that it's going to be stable enough by the time come March or April that I can splurge on a nice camera. So that's where that's going. But thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you, thank you. Back to questions, because I'm only 4 minutes behind now. Do you think quick respawn is worse in solo queue than it is in a team setting? Sort of, kind of. You have to pick your fights differently. So I guess you feed less often, and so you get a little less value out of the QR, but not by that much. What's your favorite bad map? I will say I had a lot of fun on Mincemeat early on, because I really liked the way that you can paint 3 sides of truck. I want more maps in this game where you can paint the walls. Let us paint the frickin' walls. What would you say is the worst sub/special? My personal choice for worst sub is highly controversial, and I think a lot of people would disagree. Actually, no. I forgot about Line Marker. I just forget that that exists sometimes. Line Marker is the absolute worst. I don't think there's much question about it. I think for some weapons, Sprinkler is the worst. For some weapons, Curling Bomb is the worst. Toxic Mist is also down there. Those are probably my calls. Sprinkler is what probably most people would say outside of Line Marker. I would probably say Curling Bomb. I think there are very few weapons that benefit from Curling Bomb, and the weapons that do benefit from it are not good anyway. And would also probably prefer something else. Worst special... I'd probably have to say Reef Slider at the moment. Ultra Stamp is close, but Ultra Stamp has at least a situational niche for breaking crab tanks now, which bumps it up a little bit higher, but Reef Slider just kind of doesn't kill people most of the time. It's really kind of sad the state that it's in. It needs some buffs. Two mains other than Splash, Ink Brush and Tetra. What should I focus on to get through the Splash patch? Both of those weapons are really good. Like, both of those have good answers to the crab and to the crab meta. Whichever one you want to play. Any single-player games on Switch you like? Does Dark Souls Remastered count? I did really like Fire Emblem Three Houses. Every Switch owner owes 75 hours of their life to Breath of the Wild. If you haven't played it, you've committed a sin. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey, if you like Mario games. I wasn't as huge a fan of it myself, but it's very well liked. Wanting to get in a comp for a while now. Reached 2,400 a while in your guides really helped me. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Favorite least bad band. Least bad? Chirpy Chips is the truth. It is acceptable if you prefer Ink Theory. Like, that is an opinion that's not wrong. It's just different from mine. But, oh my god, Chirpy Chips. I would listen to album after album of Chirpy Chips. Just give me more Chirpy Chips. This means I do more takeovers for content, right? Any of your New Year's resolutions Splatoon related? Not really. Nothing that, like, just arose out of the new year, I wouldn't say. Will you do a video about resetting Rainmaker? I already have. It's my Rainmaker guide from Splatoon 2. The same logic applies. Are you open to questions being reposted if we feel you did not see them? Yeah. Does wall painting contribute to turf war percentage? No. What's the funniest title? I'd have to look at all the combinations and see. What are you using that shows the chats from Twitch and YouTube? It's an app called Restream. Restream.io. What weapon should 10 players use instead right now because our weapon's really bad? That's a tough question. It's really so different, even in a game where it's functional, from any other weapon in the game. I don't know, maybe like... If you're used to the mechanics, then maybe like Range Blaster. If you're used to the play style, then maybe like Tetras or Ink Brush. It's very different. What can I do about getting bad comps in solo queue? Do the best you can. Think about what your strengths and weaknesses are and play to those. So if you've got double backline, don't try to push in too hard. Wait for them to feed into your double backline because it's going to be harder for them to push you. So as long as you just stay alive and wait for the chargers to get picks, then you might be able to get a numbers advantage that you can actually do something with. Do you know of any open tournament? Oh, so draft tournaments. You've got like Launch Point Draft Cups. You've got Under Pressure, which is for sub rank S. There's a draft that's done from Midpoint, I think, that I used to play in a lot. There are a bunch of those kinds of things, and you can always just do pickup scrims too. Have you heard the? Oh yeah, I've heard. I've listened to that Chirpy Chips song more than most humans, probably. Like, Definitely a double-digit number of times. We're starting to come up on triple digits. Those are very, very cool songs. What is my locker right now? I'll go and grab it. Chirpy Chips sounds like a snack. Yeah. It's for chiptune, like chiptune music. Microchips. Here is the locker. I haven't updated it in a while. But it's made of wood. And it's got clogs in it. Rest in peace, the blaster. I actually have a bunch of other stickers that I could be putting on here, too. Where are those at? Is it all here? Or do the weapon stickers go elsewhere? Oh my god, they're all just in the stickers menu, aren't they? Yup. Woo boy. Those aren't going up anytime soon. I'm too lazy. Have you been using Tri-Slosher? Tri-Slosher suffers from having a weak sub-weapon. If it weren't for that, it would be a lot stronger. Like, if they gave it Burst Bomb or something, it would definitely be something to consider in the meta. But it just doesn't have quite the poking potential that it needs to get in. Inkjet is very cool, though. If you like Inkjet, then you're correct. If you play SSBU, I do a little bit, but not a ton. I'm much more experienced at Melee. My Melee main was Marth, and my ultimate mains are Palutena and Corrin. Do you prefer ABXY to Chirpy Chips? I think Chirpy Chips is a lot more descriptive. It takes a lot more thought to figure out what you're talking about with ABXY, where it's like, oh, chips, chiptune music, I get it. Oh yeah, I haven't had to use that wrist brace in forever. I was starting to get the first signs of carpal tunnel, and it abated really quickly. How do you deal with a teammate that has no desire to get better in esports at school, so I don't have a choice when it comes to teammates? That's a tough one, because my answer would have been, like, if they're not interested, don't play with them. But if they're the best you've got, then, I mean, that's just something you're going to have to deal with on the team. That's a weakness of the team that it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to get around. But definitely, you know, if you're unsatisfied with your experience on that team, I would recommend, you know, starting up a team of your own that is outside of school hours and that you're more interested in playing for. That tends to be an issue with school teams, that there just aren't enough people at the school who play the game that are at the same level and are as interested in improving, have the same goals. You just may not find the right people in that small of a group. Do you think win percentage in solo queue is any indication of your individual strength? Absolutely not. 0%. Because you're playing against people at different levels from somebody else. Like, having even a 10% win rate against 3,000 X-Power players means so much more than having a 100% win rate at C rank. So I put basically no stock in the win percentage or the wins-losses. Like, a lot of my wins-losses on my account come from me playing, like, random weapons because people tell me to, or because I have a video to make about them. Like, okay, there's a lot of 52, actually. But look at all this H3, right? These are not matches that's, like, I'm playing my best in part because I'm playing on inverted sticks. But, like, you look at the victory to defeat, and you're like, oh, look at Gem, he's got this, like, really negative win rate. But defeat, 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 defeat. Oh, we actually won a couple. Defeat. This is all because I'm playing inverted minimum sensitivity H3 on sticks. Obviously, I'm not going to do super well, and I don't put a lot of stock in those numbers. All right. Live streaming teacher. Yep, that's me. No table turf guide? I mean, I don't have much about Salmon Run either. My focus is on Splatoon PvP. That's really what I'm interested in personally. Table turf is just a completely different video game. Like, it takes a different set of skills, a different kind of analysis to know how to play table turf well. What is the best Splatoon 1 song, and why is it Sucker Punch? Sucker Punch is pretty solid. I do like it, but Shelfie. Shelfie exists. Are you going to play the Breath of Wild sequel? Yeah, definitely. First one was really good. I would love more of that. How does Inkjet match up against Crab Tank? Very badly. It might be kind of hard to hit because it's hard to aim the shots, but like you're just gonna get shot out of the sky by somebody else, even if the Crab Tank doesn't deal with you. That's the problem with Inkjet. Any kind of backline weapon and you're in a lot of trouble. Umbrella idea. Umbrella that has had its shield replaced by fan blades. It spins and spits out ink when it's launched. Fan blades? Spins and spits out ink when it's launched. So it doesn't shield you? But it's a weapon when you launch it? That's a really predictable and slow weapon. Favorite weapon design aesthetically? Huh. Probably the Tentatek splatter shot. Will you make Squiddy Holly your new channel intro? Maybe not the channel intro, because that's like somebody else's work. I would feel more comfortable paying them if I were going to make it that big a part of the content, but I did use it in a video at one point. What was the time a student said something that made you want to laugh, but you had to... That doesn't happen very often, because that sort of thing causes you to lose more control of the classroom. Because everybody thinks that they're saying something funny enough that the teacher's going to laugh and be okay with it, but it happens so rarely that most of the time it's just a waste of time. Kids think they're funnier than they are. Your sense of humor grows with you as you grow up, and so most of the time it just wasn't there. Kids are funnier than their parents were at their age, but they're still at a young age, and so it's not there yet. Maybe in high school you'd get a few more cases like that, but middle school, nah, not very often. Did not play Age of Calamity. Is part 3 of What Am I Doing coming? Yes, I'm still working on it. When is the H3 video coming out? Oh, about the tournament run. Sometime. Eventually. It's a lot of editing involved in that, and I haven't had time to get sat down and do it yet. What if there was a blaster that allowed you to detonate shots wherever you wanted? Interesting. That would solve a major issue of the blaster. That's kind of a cool idea. You'd probably have to nerf it in some way. Like, you know, the sniper rider, you know, having 5 shots is an objective advantage, and so they have to nerf it in some other way, you know, by reducing the damage or something. I have a feeling that the way Nintendo would probably balance it would make that gimmick not worth the downsides that they put on it. There already is a melee Brella. It's melee Brella is called the roller. Wop. Do you think Custom Junior is going to get nerfed soon? I think it's honestly in a good place. I don't want them to nerf it. I want them to make everything else as strong as the Custom Junior. Custom Junior is annoying and strong, but it's not game-breaking. That's where everything should be. Make everything that good. Alright, I've caught up. We did it, chat. We've answered everybody's questions. Every single question that anyone can have about Splatoon, answered. Weird take, C Junior causes shooter meta? Okay, I see what you mean. But I mean, it didn't cause the current meta. Like, the C Junior did not exist at the time where Splash-O-Matic was meta already. Because this is not shooter meta, this is Crab Tank meta. Well, that looks awful. I'm not playing that. This is also awful, but it's a playable awful. This stream VOD now encompasses the entire body of knowledge of Splatoon, exactly. There's a hero shot question. Would you play hero shot if its sub-weapon was Little Buddy? No. I think Little Buddy would actually be terrible for a multiplayer. It'd be like a single target torpedo at best. I guess if you're able to recall him the way that you can in single player, there might be some potential there. But if he just sticks on someone until they shoot him off, that doesn't feel great. Depends on how much damage he does, of course. If he does a crap ton of damage and they die in like half a second, then okay, yeah, that's a problem. Why did we take it left? Never take it left. Literally never. It is slower, it is less safe, it is worse in every way that you would evaluate a Rainmaker path on. I don't know why I'm putting a wall there. That was a waste of ink. Brain lines think alike, I guess. Oh boy. Am I dead? Not wet. Okay. Let's just pop this. Nice. I see your laser, and I raise you a splash wall. The Rainmaker carrier did not see my laser, or see their laser. Yeah. At that point, I was kind of stuck, because I think one more Wavebreaker shot kills me there. Wow, that Flingza really could have stopped the push and did not. Alright, we got this. Just gotta get rid of this guy. Missing that many shots on the Flingza is definitely a mechanical problem for them. Something they should be working on in their lobby. Because The roller is a weapon that doesn't get many shots, but the shot that it gets is really easy to aim and also one-shots, so it is just super crucial to always be hitting it. Like, it's not as hard to aim, but it is very aim-intensive. It is a weapon that punishes you really hard for not aiming well. Shoutouts to Lionel Messi. I don't know how I feel about that jump. At this point, I'm just gonna swim in. So let's just shark right here and catch them as they try to move forward. Well, that was a lot of shots that I missed. We're just gonna dip out of there. Well, that was a little unfortunate. But we still won overall. Where did that blob come from? Just to drop down on them. And all of this is fine. I don't really care about pushing the Rainmaker any further. All I care about is pushing it as far forward as we can so that they're starting from as far back as possible each time. Score doesn't matter. It's just wasting their time. Oh my god. Too many indirects from the missiles. Inattentive from my part. Oh, they should not be in there yet. Oh, backup raise. Okay, this is fine. That'll stall for time. I'm not even going to try and defend them going on the right, because it's just not a good angle to go from, and we'll be able to stop them if they try. Alright, we lose the checkpoint. Well, please don't go down right now. This is not a good time for us to be getting splatted. Oh goodness, they are making a attempt of it. Fortunately, they peeked the corner for no reason. The team was staggering really badly at the end there. They were doing exactly what you don't want to do, which is dying from going in at numbers disadvantage. Thank you so much, Bunny Hugger. That's really kind of you to say. Bunny Hugger says, honestly, what I've learned from you has influenced my approach to learning and has made my mindset in gaming a lot healthier. Thanks, Jen. Very sweet. Thank you. And thank you for the donation, too. Tactical Ursha get Object Shredder. That'd be interesting. Or maybe even a buffed up kind of Object Shredder. That'd be fun. Alright, almost done with my food. And we're playing Splatoon. Proper melee that's not brush, so roller. We're going left. Means I should be able to flank in here on the right and be... Oh, no. That wall actually went a lot further than I thought it was going to, but the E-Leader was ready for it regardless. I should have looked for them a little bit more once I saw the laser. So that would have been a really good angle to be able to get in from, but I lost the opportunity. Shoot, couldn't save them. They know that I am still here. E-Leader's watching for this angle. See if they see this. Just keeping the E-Leader busy for the time being. I think I actually hit them twice, but one of them was a fall-off shot. I need to jump. E-Leader on the top right. I would have run forward, but my teammate already did. And made it clear, you know, made themselves clear, so enemy team would have been looking in that direction if I tried. Alright, that's 2. Bacon Lord. We have slain the Bacon Lord! Long live the Bacon Lord! Nice, it's another one. Splorgle. Ah, unfortunate. It was just that one player. If they beat that one player, then it's a good push. I saw that mine. And then I risked my life to potentially get shot for trying to clear it. Ah! I'll get the blob anyway. The more I play the game, the more I like actually running up the right-hand side here. I just feel like there's more cover. It's easier to get in this way. And, like, people are a lot less likely to watch this than they are to watch the way in from mid. Yeah, figured they would put that... Oh, no! That was bad positioning on my part. I figured they would put a mine there, because that's a way that I would have had to pass through to go chase them. But, I guess I just decided it was... Oh, man. That's so annoying. I need to not be here. Oh, hi. Could you not? Thank you. I didn't stay because they could have shredded my splash wall pretty quickly there. Fast enough that I wouldn't have been able to get away otherwise. Ah, ledge glitch! There's the ledge glitch again. I thought that the E-Leader had dropped, and so I went in after them. This should hit multiple players, I would think. Yep. That was what that was for. The leader's gonna shift. Be looking for me to push from the left. Oh, hi. Here's them. Nice. Just had a lot of pressure on the enemy team that game and did a lot without getting splatted. So I'm pretty proud of that. I have a video talking about how to use splash balls. I do have some advice that I included in a series of shorts on all of the different sub-weapons. But I guess the biggest thing is just that you need to put it out earlier than you're going to need to use it. Like, you can't just panic and throw it out there as soon as you start getting shot at, because it takes a long time to deploy. It is not until you actually see the jets of ink start coming down from it that it is defending you. So, like, all of that time, up until you actually see the orange jets, it is not active yet. And that is an amount of time that you can easily be splatted by most weapons in. So, it's something that you need to put out there preemptively, if you're going to use it. Why am I playing series and not X? This is why. It's clamblets, undertow, and mincemeat. No thank you. Hi, Flopdoodle. You're really late to class. What's wrong with those modes? Mincemeat clamblets is an argument for one of the worst in the game because it's so impossible to score. That is the only map mode I've ever seen multiple times go to a scoreless draw and get decided by the tiebreakers. Undertow clamblets is a lot better. I would even... It's not the worst thing even for competitive play, but I'm not putting up with mincemeat, and undertow definitely is not my favorite. Problem with mincemeat clams is that it's way too easy to defend your basket. So, because there are only two ways to get to the basket, and they both suck. One involves making a jump up over a wall that you have to paint first, and the other one involves running over a great bridge. Like, they're two of the most exposed and vulnerable positions you can be in Splatoon, and that's the only way that you get into position to score. And when you get there, they have strong defensive positions even once you're there to set up and try and stop you. Let's go, Kirby, I believe. Good job, Kirby. You lived a good life. Your sacrifice was not in vain. Well, yeah, it was not in vain. Okay. As long as I get that pick, it was not in vain, because we still have numbers. No, don't go left. That is a waste of time. I need to make a video about how to not go left on this map. This is a flank route. This is not a Rainmaker path. Alright. There's the leader. Leader's up there. Okay. Get. Oh, God. Part of what helped me there was the slope, because they had to adjust their aim not just left-right, but also up-down. And so they missed shots that would otherwise have been relatively easy. What? I did not think I was close enough to that at all. I'm blind. E-leader is their snipe. We're just gonna try and stay alive. We don't need to push necessarily. Ugh. Shoot. Okay, nice. 1 for 1. Oh shoot, this flank is gonna stop the push. I'm the last player alive. I'm out of here. That jump might not be safe. Oh boy. Okay, glad that they missed some shots there. Otherwise that could have been bad. I don't know why I thought we picked it up. Because I was like, man, they're in a ton of enemy ink. What are they doing? No, it was the enemy team. They had the Rainmaker. What am I looking at? Oh! Good flank. Well, this isn't a very comfortable lead. We would definitely prefer to push a little bit more than we have so far. But we don't have a lot of paint, and so it feels like when we're going in, we're getting spotted out too easily. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Up, 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 up. Forward, 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 forward. Paint for them, let's go. They're 3 down, it's just the... Nice. Kirby popped off. I just stopped playing, I was like, yeah, that game's over. What main would you say is best for aggressive play? I mean, the best weapon in the game right now is the Splash-O-Matic, which can play aggressive and can also play support and can also play anchor when it pops special and it can do everything. But that weapon is being played, like 2 or 3 of those weapons are being played on every top level team comp. So if you're just looking for what's the best weapon to play, my answer is the Splash-O-Matic. As someone with a teaching degree, what do you think about grade 9 and 10 having no exams? Exams are only as valuable as the results you get out of them. So if... By no exams, do you mean, like, the school is never testing them? Like, they don't get a test that is graded from their teachers ever? Or that they specifically aren't getting, like, standardized tests, like the SAT, for example? Well, actually, I don't know if you would have the SAT, because that's probably just American. It's about that ink brush match. I'm probably not going to play an ink brush match. We've played a bunch of ink brush matches before. Standardized tests? Standardized tests, I think, are more valuable than they're given credit for. I think part of the reason that we complain about them in the United States is that College Board is in a very terrifying organization with way too much power and some practices that could reasonably be described as evil. I think that there is a lot of bad that they cause, and people kind of associate that, oh, it's the tests that are the problem, and they're not thinking about where the tests come from. There's also a lot that's wrong with the American education system in general that makes it so that the testing is less effective than it should be. Like, the ways that we use the results are actually what I think the biggest problem is. It's that we value the tests in a way that is differently from the way that the tests are intended to be used. Like, they are very useful and statistically meaningful tests. They're tests that tell us something. It's just that people don't understand what information they're supposed to get out of them and use them, you know, their results in ways that are less than useful. I need to play a little bit closer to my team. I'm here. We got this. Now let's go this way. I hate how you can jump and get over the top of it, but if you're on a raised platform that you jumped to, that's higher up than the lowest possible jump, you still get hit by the wave breaker. It's really counterintuitive to me that, like, this gets me over the wave breaker, but this doesn't. Like, jumping higher actually still gets me hit. I guess you can kind of think of it like it's ground tremors or something, but, like, it definitely doesn't immediately work in my brain that way. Whoa, let's go Hydra player, what? I thought I was gonna hit them twice. Here we're gonna... Someone should pick it up. We had enough of an advantage that we probably could have gotten first checkpoint right then and there. And we really need to get here so that we get this lead. Okay, I think that'll work. Like, I'll take that. That's a solid push, I think. We just need to go for it. The thing is, we don't need a super good push because we have double backline, and a double backline team is going to be able to defend better than most. The challenge of the double backline comp is getting the lead in the first place. Once you've done that, the rest... Oh no, this is a bad jump. Okay, good, it was just a bomb. Taking around this way, and there's going to be people here once I get... Oh no, they dropped. Okay, well, fine. A little bit hairy there. We're not painting the shield. We're not preventing them from picking it up. Okay, we got two of them. I'm really uncomfortable with the situation right now, but okay. As long as we drop it off, we're fine. Watch out for that pop there. Let's go watch out for players coming from over here. This is a really good position to defend from. Alright, there we go. I'm just gonna paint mid. What? Why is there someone behind us? How did that happen? We wiped them. Darn it. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Man, I completely missed that player. There must have been a super jump to someone, like, right as soon as that player respawned that I didn't see. What am I going to do for the 100k milestone? That's going to take a while to get to. We hit 50k real quick, and then we're now only at like 55k. So, all right, yeah, one more and we're done with the series there. That should be a good spot. Oof. What's the best way to tilt less? Be able to be less frustrated over things that... So, It depends on... You have to think about why that's really happening, like, what is going on in your brain. And you have to think more carefully than just, I'm tilting. What does tilting mean to you? Because everybody tilts a little differently. I find that you can generally categorize people who tilt in two different... Well, okay, you can generally categorize people into two different categories of tilt. There are people who externalize or people who internalize. There are people who get down on themselves, and then there are people who get upset at other people outside them, at what they feel is outside their control. So, like, they'll rage at their teammates, they'll blame a broken weapon, all sorts of different things, other than themselves. Both of them are difficult to learn if you do them. They make it more difficult to learn, but they do so in very different ways, and you have to combat them in different ways. Okay, that's just a clean wipe. Tip, when you get the Rainmaker on the left side there, usually it's better to just push it the right side than to try and keep shoving it through that unpaintable corridor of death on the left. So I'm actually going to... Oh my god. I said I'm actually going to do that here. I'm going to take it this way, because I have cover over on this direction. It's easier to approach the goal that way without being seen by something like an E-Leader. And now that it's here, that should influence, you know, the other Rainmaker carriers to pick it up and go in that direction. Or me, because it's me now. Hi, I am Jump. And see, like, I only got to the top of the ramp, but that's already 17. It's a really good position to push from. All right, 5-0 on that ticket. That was pretty good. Are you kidding me? Come on. I was gonna stop there, but they put me 2 points away. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you. If I lose the open match, I can still play one more. Because it's you win one and you get 8, and you lose one and you lose 5. So 5 plus 2 is only 7. I would actually be able to just win one of the next 2, and I would rank up. I think it's just that flat +8 -5. I'm not sure, though. So there's someone on the other side that went down over there. Hi. Man! I'm gonna just squeak through here a little bit. say hi to our friend the L3 Nozzle Nose, and to their friend, the Sloshing Machine. Well, they chased me all the way. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That's what happens when we all stay in the same place, I guess. This is such a flank-heavy map that a lot of the time in solo, you're gonna catch people just like playing the opposite side of the map too much and being safe to take their side. This isn't something you're likely to see work in competitive play, but if it's working, keep doing it. Yeah. Nice! That's a double. Okay. Let's get control of zone. Or excuse me, let's get control of zones now. We really should be getting control of the zone. I don't care that they got a crab. This is 4v2. We got this. How are we letting them through here? We're just flanking too much. We're not actually shooting the zones when we have chances to shoot the zones because we're so far away from them. I might just need to play a little bit of paint support here. Play objective primarily. Just, I cannot be there when the booyah goes out. See, look at that. Literally no one was on the zone. I painted both zones. Nobody paid attention to it. I shot the inkjet. Nobody stopped me from doing that and then taking the last zone. Like, at some point you gotta realize that the objective is what's important. And, like, actually play to that. There's a lot of downtime on this map because maybe you have to fall off a ledge to avoid something. But you gotta remember that the place to come back to is the splat zone. Okay, that's a crab. You can probably outpaint that with the help of the wall. I'm not sure how much ink I have left, so I'm just gonna drop off for the time being. Oh my god, what is wave breaker physics? I was literally pre-firing them, and they still went for it. Alright, that should be game. Okay. We made it. If you're trying to use a mid-range charger, you're using it for different reasons than you're using an E-liter. They are not the same play style at all. They do not fill the same role. You're considering it a midline weapon and not a backline weapon. So I don't think they're particularly comparable. E-liter is better in terms of, like, its position on a tier list, but again, it does something completely different from what they do. Okay. And, ooh. Zipcaster actually looks kind of interesting. You know what? Well, okay. We'll do a couple of things. Because we've gone over the day cycle. So So we've got new stuff to buy. Nice. Well, okay, I've got all of those covered. Wow, okay. Ooh, nice. I remember having this in Splatoon 2 and liking it. And I like that it has something I might actually use. Ah, gotta have 3 on the swim goggles. Okay. I think I'll close on a little bit of table turf. This table turf is neat. I like table turf. Fix your servers. Joke's on you, they don't have servers. That's not entirely true, but not in the sense that people always mean when they say fix your servers. Alright, little Judd. Let's get it. So I can explain my strategy for how I play this game, but I would hardly consider myself an expert in such things. So I start off and I want to cut off as much of the board as possible to them. If I, like, can keep them boxed in so they only have, like, this much that they can use, then they just have to work way harder to make any more forward progress. And then the ultimate goal is to build up enough... this is good, this is good. If I can lock them in on the left and the right here, then I'm in really good shape. A better way to... Yeah, we'll do it this way. Because the more I can lock them in, the less they have that they can actually put stuff on. And the more winning occurs. This should be a good way to lock it. If they don't put something over that. Oh, they did. So they do have a way in through this one little spot here that I'm pointing at right there. But this will lock them out of the left side if they don't put something else there. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, I don't think I actually have something that can plug this hole. I guess I can just put this, like, here or something. Yeah, that's not a great use for that. Yeah, it'll be fine. That'll lock them in. Okay. So now I just have access to more squares on the board than they do. So they're kind of out of luck. See, they had to pass on that round. Ooh. Actually, I'll get more out of putting that here. That's actually good, because that'll still get me the special square. Alright, where are they going? They didn't even get themselves a way out. That's just not a good play on their part. And that will get me the one extra square that I need. And now I have just enough points to do this. Somewhere. Maybe. It is a very big piece, and it might not fit with the setup, the layout that they have here. Yeah, I'm not sure I can actually fit this in anywhere. It's the way they've positioned everything. Yeah, that's a pity. I can probably get this in, though. Oops. So that gets me to 99 and to 56. Can this one do any better? 98 and 56. Ooh, 155. I think that's going to be it. And they have to pass, yeah. Because they're all boxed in. Nothing they can do. So there you go. There's the table turf guide. We'll do one more, because this will unlock the level 2 Judd. Or level 2 Little Judd. I generally like to have one of these longer pieces to start with, because it gets me into mid faster. And then I just try to box them out of as much space as I can once I get there. Ooh, this actually fits really well into where I'm putting it. Does this fit here? Oh, it doesn't connect. Darn. That would have been so cool. Does this fit in any nice kind of way? Not really. Darn. Probably go with that. Ah, they got one through. Man, stop. I'm trying to live my life over here. There we go. Alright, we've got that mostly contained. And let's see if I can get something aggressive in over here. It'd be really nice if this would fit. Not quite. Ooh, wait. It will fit if I get a connecting piece. So what do I need to keep open for it? Right here. Yeah, I can put the line of 5. Oh, this is going to be sick. And then... I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, well that was an unfortunate side effect of said plan, but it's whatever. We get to from me doing this now. Where are they special attacking? No! Cut that out. That's my happy place. Be gone from it. Well, we'll get a special square out of this. Get another special square out of this. Gets me to 5, and if I can get one more on this play, which I think I did, and that's actually a pretty good place to have it for attacking. Actually, no, wait, I need... Oh, crap. It needs to fit in a... No, I wouldn't get a special square from any of these. I would, however, from putting it here. Okay. See if we can get this to fit somewhere. $96 to $81. $99 to $77 is a pretty good amount. Can we get anything from turning it sideways? Ooh, $100 to $77. Alright, that's the one we're gonna go with. Let's go fry. Glad the channel's been helping you, V show? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Hey, we leveled up the cat. Defeat has a bitter taste, but resentment serves as shackles for the weak. I love this cat. Those who win are not ensured eternal victory. Better keep your own carelessness in check, or perhaps you enjoy a bitter taste. Did Little Judge just threaten me? I think Little Judge just threatened me. But he's so cute. I pronounced it just right. Oh no, but I pronounced it in multiple ways, so now I don't know which one was right. A promise, then a threat. Nope, still not playing that. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for watching. So we're gonna raid out to another streamer really quickly. I do this for a living. Here are all of my links. I've got TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I've got a Discord server, and that's where if you want a VOD review like the ones that we did earlier in the stream today, you will be able to DM me from that Discord server. And I also have a Metafy if you're looking for private lessons some other time than Tuesdays, and a Patreon if you want input on what comps we run on Silly Comp Sundays, or you just want to support me. So, appreciate you checking all of that out. We are going to go to... who is live right now? It looks like we've got... I don't know why I'm not on this page already. So I'm going to take just a second to find the raid target. Here we go. Ooh, we got a lot of options today. We got Nicolini, we got Lumo, we got Blue, we got Rafa, we got Barry. I'm going to go raid Nico. It's been a little while, and I want to see how Nico is doing on Tri-Stringer stuff. Nico was a top 500 level Bamboo player in Splatoon 2, and is now really liking the Tri-Stringer, and is also a really, really, really funny content creator. He's one of the funnier guys that we got in the Splatoon community. Would love to see him on commentary sometime. So, let's go say hi to Nico. Nico ni. I don't know if that's an anime thing. It sounds like it is. All right. Goodbye.